Hello, 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 hello. Also, hello. Don't forget, by the way, also hello. Welcome, everyone. It is. That was rubbish, wasn't it? That was truly rubbish, wasn't it?
It was a bit lame, mate.
That was just gash, wasn't it? Yes. Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome to Warhammer Sunday. How is everyone? Yes, welcome. It's that time of the week when not anymore is it just me cracking on with some Warhammer building. It's actually me and Colin cracking on with some Warhammer building. So, welcome one and all to Warhammer Sunday. Of course, I'm Foxx from Model Making Guru, the channel that you're watching now. Before we get going, I'll need to do all the usual shout-outs, and then I'll introduce, obviously, Colin, my co-host from Festa67's Workshop, that other YouTube channel you should be subscribed to.
Yes.
There was a wiggly thumb there. I saw that wiggly
thumb. Like and subscribe to me.
Like and subscribe to all the people. Yes. Now, before we get going, we haven't had a spider pig yet, but I'm sure we will. Before we get going, do all the shout-outs. First and foremost, to the people that make this content possible, that make this channel possible, my patrons and channel members. My patrons and my channel members basically pay my wages. They quite literally put food on my table every week, every month even. So I have to thank them massively for making all this possible. Without them, this channel wouldn't exist. So big thank you to them. If you want to become one of those lovely people, go to patreon.com/modelmakingguru. The address is on the bottom of the screen down somewhere. I don't know which way the camera's pointed. It's down there somewhere. And I can't remember where I put the actual thing now anyway. It's down there somewhere. Or you can become a channel member by pressing the join button. And either way, you get access to content early, you get access to content ad-free, and you also help keep this channel alive. Failing that, of course, if you want to, you can just do a super chat by hitting the super chat button at the bottom of the window. But also thank you to my corporate supporters, emodels.co.uk and goblingaming.co.uk, your one-stop shops for all your model making and tabletop gaming needs. Links in the description below the video. Go and check them out and use them, and it'll tell them I sent you, and I'll get some income from that. I tried to get this introduction bit shorter, but you just can't when you've got a load of groups of people to thank and shops and stuff. It's not easy, so I do try to get it shorter. But yes, anyway, welcome. As always, it's myself and Colin here. It's our new format for this show, is me and Colin doing our shizzle. But before we get going, though, I have posted up a link for various people. So from now on, it might not just be me and Colin.
Yeah.
I'm pointing at the microphone, but the microphone's not the camera, you dingleberry. There's the camera. Not over there with the mic. Right, learn, Fox. That's the camera. That's the mic. An idiot.
Yeah, try not to bash your boom on, Cole, because your camera goes wobbly, you spud.
What does it do, Cole?
Goes wobbly, doesn't it?
How many do you get for £1, though?
3 for £1.
3 wobbles for £1. Yes, so it's me and Colin, but it might not just be me and Colin all the time. There's a few other people that may occasionally come and join us, and we actually have one today. We've got one, and I'm going to press a button, and it could go wrong. But here, presented with the back of his head right in shot, is our good friend Kevin, our Lord and Master Kevin. Welcome from Squighammer Miniatures, I believe is the new thing, is the new hotness.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
It is me.
I'm surrounded by Southerners. It's terrible. Somebody help me. Yes. So good old Cy Reynolds, Kevin, who has joined us this week. He's finally started doing the online and the YouTube bits. He's getting into it now. So he has a channel. How are you doing, Kevin? Tell us all about yourself, because everybody knows about me and Colin because we've been here for ages. Tell us about yourself.
Oh, you didn't forewarn me about this at all.
Yeah, well,
so,
keep it brief.
Kevin.
Don't use big words. Don't confuse people.
Foxx has badgered me into making a YouTube channel,
Yes,
so I've caved. It's called Squighammer Miniatures.
Yeah.
There will be videos soon, and today I'm not going to even finish this miniature, so Foxx can shine when he builds one.
Yeah, oh, you cowbag.
I'm glad you're sat down, Si, because he built 10 the other night on the stream. 10
I know, I was
two-part
there.
figures. Of course you was, that's right. You was in the chat, conveniently as Si Kevin Reynolds.
Yeah.
Damn it. I mean, you win 2 golden demons and suddenly you just take the mickey out of everybody. Is that how it works?
Oh, have you really, Si?
He
You
did,
did well
believe it or
there.
not.
That was about 2.5 minutes of your presence, mate, before it was
There's
mentioned.
a lot of static, guys. I can't hear you properly. I don't know. Oh, it's cleared up. Oh, okay. It's cleared up.
So welcome, Si. Welcome. Other folks may pop in and pop out. There's a group of us that I've basically given the links to each week. So other folks that you know and love may pop in and pop out throughout the course of the show each week. But for the moment, I assume you're with us all afternoon, Simon, or have you got to go off anywhere, or are we stuck with you now, or how does it work?
I am more than likely here till at least 5:30 when I may have to go and start dinner, but I may not.
What you mean is that when you have to go and do pooping times?
No, I have a roast shoulder of pork with
Ooh.
stuffing and whatnot to cook for this evening.
Ooh.
Get your pork here, ladies. Get your pork here. Shoulder of pork, freight for a pound, freight for a pound.
Prepared.
This
I
is
would
instinctive,
question where
sir.
that pork had come from if it was 3 for a pound.
A special place. It comes from the special farm where all your dogs and cats go.
Yeah, it comes from my
Yeah.
special farmyard side where I keep all my secret animals.
Fester's special
Understood.
Fester's special backwoods farm. Anyway, before we get going, let's actually acknowledge there's people in chat, because we should do that, really. Yes, welcome to everyone. I'll have a quick whiz through chat. I need to clear my throat already. There we go. We have, of course, the first person I've got in chat, which may not be the first person in chat, was Wendy Hickson, who says, good afternoon, Fox Hugs. Welcome, Wendy. You can see the people who are my channel members, by the way. They've got the coloured names and the little symbols next to the name. So they're my lovely channel members. Lee Stevenson and Lynn Dipple are both in. Welcome to Lee and Lynn. Hugs to all of you. We have Ross Medlock. Welcome, Ross. People coming over from Colin's stream this afternoon. It's just finished at just before 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I started it a bit late because I was...
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Talk about that in a minute, maybe. Panzer Koenig is in. Welcome, Panzer Koenig, another one of my channel members. We have... Who else has come in? Space Hamster Z8. I need to... Hang on a minute. Hang on. Microphone off. Before I start sounding like that woman from Coronation Street. Percy! Percy, where are you?
Percy, love!
Percy, love, get over here. Get your kit off. Oh, dear, I just said that. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, you did.
So, moving swiftly on, Space Hamster ZH is in and says, howdy, welcome, Space Hamster. Bobbins 9000 is in. I shall eat these bacon butties while patiently waiting, says Bobbins. Bacon butties.
You need to share bacon butties, let's be honest.
Yeah, you need to send, well, by share, he means send them all to me.
Yeah, see, I had mine in a pita bread, Si. Nice pita bread, brown sauce, bacon.
Well, I was hoping there'd be bacon in it. If it was a bacon pitta,
Yeah, the clue's in the name, I suppose, mate, isn't it?
See, I've actually got 2 packs of bacon downstairs. I couldn't be bothered making it. I just wish bacon came made. Which means people should send them to me when they make them. Mac is in. Hello again, folks. Won't be around for very long. Mrs. Mac and I'll be doing some shopping at E-Models soon. Good lad. Burpage. I have to apologise. That came out without warning. Phil East is in. Afternoon all. Was that a bit of a window rattler, that, wasn't it? Phil East is in. Afternoon all. Festa 67's workshop's in chat, but he was allowed to do finger words then because he wasn't live at that point.
Yeah, I'll put my keyboard down. I'll be good.
Good girl. Who else have we got in chat? Dad at Scaly Models, Big Dad Hugs, Big Dad Hugs. Dad, of course, Scaly Models is one of your moderators. You can tell because his name's in blue and he's got a great big spanner next to his name. So the moderators, of course, are lovely, lovely little forest creatures with big moist eyes that give you that look when you tell them off. So they'll look after you. Moist. They'll keep you safe in chat. But if you cross them, Si, what will the mods do if you cross them?
They will end your existence and send Fox all of your bacon.
They will end you, and I'll get all your bacon, so don't cross the mods. I like the fact I can palm that off to someone else now, every now and then. To try and come up with
Again, there's no forewarning.
No.
They'll give you a dry slap and slap the taste out your mouth.
Yeah. And if you've been really bad, they'll give you something else dry, and you won't like that. Family friendly. And that's Speedy Curate's in chat as well. So that's everybody in chat at the moment. Now, there are 34 people watching and there's like 12 people in chat, so this is a bit rubbish. So if you're watching this and you're watching it embedded in Facebook or Twitter or somewhere else, don't stay away. Click on the YouTube icon in the bottom right-hand corner. Come and join the live chat. It's lovely in chat. We will or
if you're watching on your big telly,
join
on your phone as well, because that will help Fox with the algorithm, and you'll be in chat. It's
watch me on all your devices. Watch me on everything that has batteries. Right, no, let's move on from that one.
No, not that device.
Yeah, no, let's leave it that one and where it is. But yes, do come and join the live chat because it's awesome in live chat. That's the whole point of this stream, is to give you guys a place to hang out and have fun while the 3 of us or 4 of us or 5 of us just sit here talking rubbish for like 3 or 4 hours. I say 3 or 4 hours, I mean 3. I'm just going to move out all these thousands of poxwalkers that I've built that took me...
Oh, when did you build those, Fox? All 10 of them?
About 5 minutes ago.
Oh,
I just started before we went live.
So you're going to build 11 in this 3-hour stream?
I'm going to build 120 poxwalkers.
You're going to build in this one stream?
Anyway, moving on. Moving on in my stream.
Hey, this was your choice.
Welcome to my house. Oh dear. Yes. That was right in my ear. That was right in my ear.
Oh, was it now?
Stop! No!
You wibbled in my ear. I didn't like it.
No.
Well, hello, Simon. You're nice, aren't you?
Oh Lord.
Oh, I like your nice manly tattoos. Oh.
Simon's broken. See, I've had this one, so it's not as distracting for me. Simon's
Oh,
not had it
yes,
before.
Simon. He had this one and he took it well.
Oh,
See, Simon's never had this coming in his ear like I've had it, so.
I don't
Oh,
want it coming in
matron.
my ear, please. Keep your fluids to yourself.
Oh, Festus fluids get everywhere. There's no way around that.
yeah.
I've got to set up my mirror so I can see when I fall out. Hang on.
And he thought this was a good idea. You're right now, so compose yourself.
I can
Do you want me to come and rub them for you, Simon?
I can guarantee you that at least one person will mail me and say, "Yeah, can you go back to the old style format, please?" And I'll be
Absolutely.
like, "No,
Yeah.
I don't think so."
dear.
I'm gonna move some things out of the way. I'm setting up my mirror so I can.
Oh, see if you drop out.
Yeah.
We'll tell you. Trust us, mate.
You know.
Oh, dear.
Right. So, yes, what we're doing today. I am building more poxwalkers. As you saw there were 24 poxwalkers in that big pile. I have the entire Death Guard Combat Patrol set. I have the entire Death Guard part of the Dark Imperium set that Si very kindly sent me. And I have a few extra poxwalkers hanging around. And I have all the poxwalkers and Death Guard from the Warhammer Conquest set. I've built 24 over there that you just saw. I've got about another 40 to go. In total, I have about 80 or 90 poxwalkers by the end of this, which is a nightmare. But I'm building more poxwalkers, and I will be for the next few weeks. But what are you guys working on? Colin, what have you got on your bench right now?
I'm going to start. Well, I bought a Sentinel, as you know, to do a buddy
Did you buy a
build
Sentinel
with.
to do a buddy build?
Yeah, with the motorbike cheater. But I noticed the other night in the hangout when he leant forward and had a thing with all the pegs on that it was his Sentinel on it.
Let me just check, Colin. Is your Sentinel, is that still got the plastic wrapping on the box?
It's still got the plastic wrapping off from the box, which is
Is that just being removed now for the first time?
yeah,
Wow.
because it was a buddy build. But I'm going to start it on here because the Valkyrie's ready for primacy, and I didn't want to fire up an airbrush on the Sunday stream because I just didn't think it was
I just
etiquette.
realised I've got the wrong overlay on. Hang on. I've got the overlay that covers up one of the screens. That's rubbish. There, that's better. You were being
He's a
covered up by all
stone.
kinds of nonsense.
That's all right, mate.
Carry
So
on,
yeah, I'm gonna be doing a Sentinel, mate. So
Ooh.
yeah.
Do we take it from that you finished building the Valkyrie?
No, as I was saying to you, it's ready for primer, and I didn't want to sit and prime it on
right.
air in case
That
in
makes
case
sense.
my compressor got picked up. Don't know why I'm doing that for compressor. That's wrong, isn't it?
What does that?
In case my compressor.
Welcome
It's
to
a
my
compressor. lab.
compressor. Please insert your parts in here. There you
I
go.
was doing a bit of hair brushing.
That's like dead squishy.
Yeah.
So, Colin, I'm not familiar with the concept of a buddy build. Is that where you both agree to buy a kit and then wait for each other to start it?
Yes,
like
that
him.
would be the correct terminology, Si. Yes, it would, mate. It's a bit like all that cheating that he did on his motorbike, he says, putting his C1 metallizer just in the way of mine.
Hey, Colin, I think this guy will fit in this stream quite nicely, don't you?
Oh, yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
mate.
Simon will fit in very well.
I'm
So,
waiting for
yeah.
that to pop into backstage.
Oh, yeah, he won't be able to call me all them special names that he saves for the hangouts, but yeah.
Yeah. Do be aware, of course, Dad is one of the people who can enter this stream whenever he wants.
At any moment.
There's a group of people who can enter and leave the stream whenever they want. So,
So,
Dad, if Dad feels slighted, he may join in and give as good as he gets.
yeah.
There's no
So-
swearing, please. We're live on Channel 4. Please do not swear.
So, yeah, I'll probably do it as obviously an Orc looted Sentinel.
You're doing it as an orc thing, Col.
Yeah, because it's going to be my thing, isn't it? You know? So,
Orcs, it's my thing.
Oaks.
Orcs.
Orcs with an A. Orcs.
With an A.
It's all, yeah, it's Orcs.
Orcs.
Orcs. Even though it begins with an O, I've decided to say Orcs.
It works.
Because, yeah, it works.
Yep.
People don't know whether I mean the flattery Orc you know, like, you know, the
I
bird.
got the fluttery orcs once, but it's just that beer I was
Yeah.
drinking. I had to change
That's
beer.
a bird, by the way, in case you wonder. It's realistic, isn't it, this?
Yeah, it's not an orc. It's an orc.
It's Hulk,
idiot.
isn't it? A fluttery orc.
Who can't understand what you say? It's not an orc, you muppet. It's an orc.
Well, it's like when I said about my pot of orc turquoise. I could just sense the confusion in your voice when you went,
Where? What?
orc
What?
turquoise? What colour's that?
That's
then?
not a thing.
You see,
Turquoise box.
The problem with that, Cole, is awkward. There. Oh my. Orc turquoise is at least 10 years old, which means Fox can't remember it anymore.
Well, the other problem with Hawk turquoise is there is Thunderhawk blue, so we didn't know if he meant Hawk turquoise.
Yeah, 2006, that pot of paint.
That's older than Si.
Hey.
That's twice as old as Vincent.
No.
Anyway, Si, what are you on? What are you building today? Then what's your current workbench?
I am
nonsense?
working on my war banner conversion. It's nearly finished. I need to do some sculpting, which I don't know if I'm brave enough to do on stream, and a little bit of finishing sanding.
Yeah, there is a thing people don't realise, but the reason that I tend to do building and not painting on these streams is that when you're doing a live stream, whatever you're doing during the live stream will not be your best work. There's a very good reason that I tend not to do painting, unless it's something that I was just going to build for fun and not worry about. I probably wouldn't do a lot of painting on stream because we were talking before we went live, and I said to Cy Reynolds, I keep stop calling you Cy Reynolds, like force a habit. I was talking to Kev there. We were talking about what he could do, and it was like, don't paint anything that you're going to want to have as a that you care about, because it's not going to end well. Yeah. So what's your conversion plan for this thing then, dude?
Well, I can show you to a point.
Let me put you full screen. I forgot to put either of you. Colin, you can put yourself full screen, but forgot that, didn't you?
I did, mate, because
I forgot it as well.
I just thought it would be rather, oh, look at me, and I'm too British and I need to learn, don't I?
When you're showing off your stuff, you do it full screen.
So the conversion is essentially built. So to preface this, whilst I'm farting around trying to put it together, this guy started off life as the 2020 Boxing Day miniature. Obviously,
Gorzag Git Stomper.
It is Gorzag Git Stomper, yeah.
And his little psychic Nickit.
Yeah. So the current plan is I chopped off the head, which wasn't actually that easy because his hat was sculpted onto his shoulder.
How very dare they?
So why they took that choice, I don't know. So I've had to sculpt in a brand new neck, which was fun.
Well, that's because we were sat there going, what can we do that would really just annoy Cy Reynolds?
Yeah.
Cy.
Yes, dear.
That's all right. I'm telling Fox off because he keeps calling you Cy Reynolds.
No, but I was quoting Games Workshop in my mind, imaginary Games Workshop. Who would say Cy Reynolds?
Yeah. Probably.
I'm just going to call you Kevin, right? Screw it. You're just Kevin from now because it's easier for me to not call you. Otherwise, I sound like you flipping ant calling him Simon Reynolds. Come over here and sit down and shut up and take a seat.
Oh, we're using nicknames now. Okay, Audrey.
I'm not Audrey. Do I look like an enormous plant?
Right.
It's very fitting, though.
See, unfortunately, it does kind of work.
See, if you call me Audrey, all I can think of to do now is go, this one is but flesh and bone and is the more deluded. But that's a Halo joke, which most people won't get.
You know when Blue Tack doesn't want to do what I want it to do at this very moment? I'm having one of those. Well, anyway. So I haven't changed the pose, but I've given him a gigantic power claw.
Have you put pins into the arm there?
Yes, dear.
Okay, here's a question. Here's a question. You know when you've got like two parts? I'm going to come off full screen so people can see the gestures I'm doing. You know when you've got like two things going together, like I don't know, like that and that.
Yes.
And you want to put a pin between them.
Yes.
So they go like that.
Yes.
You can drill a hole in here.
Yes.
But how do you know where to put the hole in this one to make sure they line up?
Right. I can actually show you right now.
Because I was thinking if I was to pin the arms on my deathcore dudes, I wouldn't know where the hell to put the arms. I mean, the hole.
I would need to play around with my focus, but you can hopefully see there is two small blue dots on the end of those pins.
Yes. Oh, do you put a little dot of paint?
Little dot of paint, and obviously I hadn't drilled the holes in the power claw. So I put the little dots of paint on the pins that were already in the arm, and then I just
zonk, and you just have to hope they're lined up. You have to hope that the arm was lined up with the power claw.
You can kind of guess. Obviously, the shorter you keep the pins, the more likely it is that you're going to get exactly the fit you want.
Yeah.
But okay. I pretty much nailed it.
Because I was debating whether whether I could be bothered to pin the arms on my death core, because it's resin and stuff. And I thought the only way I could really do it is, because you never know whether the arm's going to be in the right position, because there's no...
Yes.
So it's like, the only way I could do it is glue the arm on and then drill through the shoulder into the torso and put a pin through the middle, but then you're going through the armor, it's like... I don't know. Maybe I just can't be bothered.
I'm also wondering where I've put his noggin. Because I can't find it.
Max Begin says, I've just finished building those Death Guard Plague Marines, which I got yesterday. Finished priming with Death Guard Green before the heavens open. So you built a load of Plague Marines and I've built one spot. Shut up. No, very good. Very good, Max. Just because I work slowly, you don't all need to swamp me with information of how slow I am and how quick you are. I'm only joking.
Well, dude, in all fairness, if you're slow, I'm at a full stop, so...
Yeah. Dad at Scaly Model says, don't even go there, Git. I can't remember what were we talking about when he said that. I can't remember now.
Oh, yeah, it was about how he's already finished his Sentinel whilst Colin hasn't even started his, that outrage that's currently going on.
I've forgotten what it was we were talking about, you see, because I forget so quickly.
Yeah.
Angus Allett's in. Welcome, Angus. Angus says, Oaks. Oaks. Scaly Model says, good on you folks for using the link. Size now up to 21 subs. Oh yeah, we're going to miss.
Thanks, guys.
We are going to miss a lot.
Realise.
Yeah, we are probably going to miss a lot of the chat, by the way, because it's not just me on my own anymore. I could usually keep an eye on the chat because there's 3 of us and maybe 4 or 5 of us. We'll probably miss a lot more of the chat. So apologies in advance if you put comments in that we do totally miss because we're idiots. Just in my mirror. No, I don't want to see my own face, you dinkleberry. Hang on. So I'm guessing that Dad put a link into Size channel. So thank you very much for that, Dad.
Thanks.
Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad.
Cheers, Dad.
He's probably regretting it now because we've brought up the Sentinel.
Yeah.
But,
Hey.
Serial offender. First the Beetle, then the bike, now the Sentinel. Triple whammy, mate. But I'm working through it, so I'm struggling through the tears.
Whenever anybody says triple whammy, all I have is that gun from the Stallone Judge Dredd movie going, triple whammy.
What I'm most concerned about is he hasn't said anything in chat for at least a few minutes. He may be getting in his car to come and...
You'll have a little shark fin going bom 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 bom.
Yeah.
Who else have we got in? So I'll do my best to keep an eye on chat for everybody, so do bear with us. It's more difficult when we're all talking together. We kind of forget there's a chat there. We don't forget, but we have a chance to look at it. Muse is in. Welcome, Muse. Max McGinn is casually hiding in the chat.
I have definitely angered Dad. I've seen his
please unsubscribe from Cy Reynolds. From Cy. I stopped saying Cy Reynolds. God damn it. It's because I'm so used to saying it, because I'm so used to you not being in the streams when we're doing them that I keep having to... I don't know.
Just can't get the staff.
No, listen, I don't get paid. Actually, I do get paid for this. Shut up. I'm going to do some work now.
I love you really, Dad.
I'm going to do some work now. Shut up. You guys carry me for another hour and 2 hours and a half. 2 hours and a half. I'm sure. Oh, God damn it. I've had too much coffee and I'm dead nervous.
Why are you nervous?
I'm not nervous. I'm just hyper.
Are you hype? No, I find that difficult to believe.
Have you been at the Sugar? Wait, no, you can't have been at the Sugar.
Can't have been at the Sugar. No, this is still new to me, not just being on my own. So I'm not nervous, but it's like whenever you try something new for the first time live on the telly box, it's like, yeah.
I guess it is kind of the unknown.
Yeah. Because I've got no idea exactly how you guys are going to mock me, so it's quite scary.
Well, you've got no faith. Would we mock you, Foxx? Come on.
Heaven forbid anything such things should happen
I'm
ever.
shocked that you would even think that.
You shocked, Colin? You shocked by that?
Yeah, I had trouble to seeing you earlier on with all them dudes that you've built on the streams, But
I can't believe I just gave my camera the look, but it's like the camera's facing away from me, so that was the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit silly, that, wouldn't it, mate?
Where's my knife? Can I just say, Si, I love the Death Guard to bits, but I hate all the little dangly pendants that always break off.
Oh, yeah.
Those little fly
What,
pendants.
you mean like this one? That orcs have too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I cut that off because I knew I would break it.
Like all these guys have got little fly pendants. God damn it. Right. Yeah, so...
and they're very spiky.
Oh, Death Guard.
Annoyingly spiky, yeah.
Death Guard, I'm so injured from building these guys. I don't know. Let's have a quick look at chat. You have to mock Foxx. You have to mock Foxx. It's why we tune in. God, don't reveal the secret. God, now they'll all do it. God damn. Mock says Lynn.
Foxx mocularity.
And apparently, did you tried to do a bit of Bardic broadcast there?
That was very good.
That was good. That.
You was impressed, weren't you?
Yes.
I enjoyed that.
Listen to the festa impressionular.
What I could do is I could go, oh, it's Foxx mocularity.
Won't get me again.
No, it won't get you. Can't get me again now, Cole. We've done it once.
No, we've done it.
It's the shock of the new that makes you just want to wet yourself laughing when you do that. You have to come up with a new thing every time.
Oh, don't do that to me.
But the thing is, I can't do anything. I can't get near my microphone, so I can't do that.
Oh, Lammerkin.
Candygram's in. Greetings, everyone. Is no one defending our beloved dad? Oh, what sad times we live in today.
No,
Says Candygram.
You don't defend him.
Can I just say, says Candygram without actually defending dad.
Yeah.
You see, Dad firmly knows that whilst he may have done stuff to his bike, Colin also did stuff to his bike.
This is true.
And he knows that I do not really defend either side. It's just because he's not here.
Yeah.
So I can get away with it.
Yeah, basically, Cy Reynolds will never... Stop, oh, God damn it. I beat it out of my head. Basically, Cy will never... abuse anyone unless they're in no way able to defend themselves, in which case he'll have at it like a terrier down a foxhole.
That's not strictly true, you fairy.
What
fairy?
bike?
I had to pick my words.
I'm not a fairy. What?
It started with an F, and that's all that I had that word in my head. So,
you fellow person with ears and a face.
Yes, you kind sir.
Yes, damn you, sir. That's no Haddon, that's my wife. I don't know. Yes, I guarantee I'll get at least one email saying, can you go back to the way it used to be where you just talked about Warhammer? No. This is the new...
I'm sure we can talk about
silliness.
Warhammer
We will. But this is the new silliness now.
Well, this is it. I mean, I can't really talk too much about Warhammer because I haven't fallen down the hole. So...
No, you're not even in the same postal code as the hole itself.
No, I'm new to all of this. I'm just learning, see?
Learning.
Size like, yeah, right.
Well, no, you're right. You are learning, but you're wrong in the fact that you haven't fallen down the hole.
Colin?
Yeah. Yes, mate.
How many points have you got on Goblin Gaming right now?
Oh, really? That old chestnut?
It's not that old, mate. It's only about a month.
Well, I've only been registered for a couple of weeks, and I've got 244 points. But I've got another 70 pending, apparently.
Oh, well, and I've been shopping there for about 2.5 years, and I've got about 300 points.
Yeah,
but you're not.
Don't even mention it before you even think of going there, Colin.
What's that?
How many points I've got?
Oh, mate, you're on 100 million and 11.
How many points have you got?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on. How many points have you got? Go on. You can't say that and then not say it.
I have just over 4,900.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could almost get a Beyblade with that.
But that is other things aside from just Warhammer as well.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
But that's over at least 7 weeks.
No, that's over many years.
Many Mahoney.
Well, about 3, but yeah.
Weeks. Minutes.
Years.
Hello, I'm getting text messages.
Uh-oh.
This is my dad.
Texts are recurring.
Mike Mountain says, and I'm gonna have to I don't know why, but I'm gonna read this in a silly voice. I just want it to be known that Colin is a turd. He's a turd.
Yeah,
he says, why
are
you sending me that? Oh, it's because Colin's probably got his phone turned off.
Absolutely.
Colin, you're a turd and possibly a fort as well, but never mind.
Yeah.
I don't know about a
accept that
second.
terminology quite willingly and happily.
Yes.
It's justified.
See, we should point out that aren't you and Dad also doing a buddy build with the big tanker ship?
No, that's me and Dave.
That's you and Dave, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah, that one's going all right because we're both doing it together.
Together.
We're also doing the buddy build of the motorcycle, aren't we? And Dad's cheated galore on that bad boy, and it's
yeah, swings him around about half a dozen of one, half of 6 of the other.
Yeah. The Sentinel, well, yeah, I think he admits that one, that he's excelled himself with that.
Do you know, if you go into the historical records, if you go into the US Library of Congress and you go into the historical records and you look for some of the classic old, you remember the feuds that used to have in like the old Wild West?
Yeah.
And the old frontier, and you'll have like the Clancys and the O'Malleys or whatever, and they'll be all feuding and they'll have like 3 teeth between them. I seem to remember reading about one once where one of these big feuds went on for 100 years, and it all started because someone built their model a bit faster than the other one.
Yeah,
and then the other one built their further faster than the other one.
I would like to actually defend Dad here and say that he did appear. I was in the hangout when Colin realised, and I would like to point out that Dad did genuinely appear to not realise that they had agreed a buddy build.
This would make sense then, because I can't really believe Dad being underhand in any way. But Dad's squishy. Dad's squishy and fluffy, and no.
He had that face of realization that he had on Fox's stream a few weeks, Colin's stream a few weeks ago.
But we should say, first of all, I got another message from Dad, and he says, "I sent it to you, Foxx, because it's your channel, and Colin is a git."
Absolutely.
You can tell he's been watching Duncan. Colin is a git. That's kind of the way Duncan would speak.
But the thing is, luckily for me, I had other people in the hangout that were present when me and Dad agreed this was a buddy build.
Yeah, see, I wasn't there for that said hangout.
No, we have to say when you say Dad had that expression on his face.
Yeah.
Was that because he realised that he'd forgotten or he didn't know it was a buddy build, and he's like, "Oh, but I've started building it," or was it because he realised of the mockery he was going to get?
Both.
Potentially a bit of both.
Yeah.
Because it was at that moment he knew that this was going to be 4 more years of
4 more years. Mission accomplished. 4 more years.
Yeah, 4 more years of horrendous mockery. I'm just going to mute my mic whilst I pour a beverage, because otherwise you'll hear weird noises.
What are you pouring from? Why? What are you pouring it from? Like a artesian well or something, or a Da Vinci.
Pouring it from a decanter with a pink straw on.
Wait,
it's a big bottle, but there is no straw.
I was about to say, is that like some kind of like Canar bottle, like DS9 Canar bottle or something?
There's no straw.
It looks very similar. It looks very similar.
I was like, is this a Geeky Trek bottle? And I just recognised it, and then it wasn't, and I'm just going to show up.
That no straw side. What colour straw would it be? Would it be a pink one, perchance?
Don't you mock. I can't put it in shot because the glass is too big.
There is genuinely no straw, but if I had a straw, I would definitely not pick Fox's ribbed straw of
pinkness. Look at it. I mean, come on.
Don't you mock the big pink straw with capitalisation and TM on it?
Notice how he held his thumb over the bit that says Fox's My Little Pony straw. Are them straws available on your Amazon store?
No, because there's only one big pink straw, and it's my big pink straw, TN. It's capitalised. It's got to be capitalised as well. It's not just a big pink straw, it's a big pink straw. I don't know.
Back to normal, let's mock Foxx.
Yeah, Dad's like, thank God for that. Not so fast, old man.
Not so fast, mate. I haven't finished with you yet. Got the in-between shows to do yet.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, Colin.
Yes, mate.
You haven't given us an update on the Valkyrie since we saw it last week on this show. Are you able to do a little update, or is that a pain in the arse to get the bits back out again?
No, it's just over there, mate. 2 seconds. Just got to spin round in my chair of goodness.
Oh God, that's going to end badly. Oh no, spinning. Oh.
I've got to stretch.
Oh God, that's even worse.
Oh dear.
If the show suddenly stops, then Unfortunately, what Colin doesn't realise is if he does fall down, he's dependent on Mike texting H. And that's...
Yeah, she's next door.
That puts Mike in the position of power then.
There you go.
Oh, lovely.
And it's got a squig hammock.
Squig hammock. And what is your squig hammock made of, dear boy?
Bit of raggy that mysteriously has held its shape again, sire.
I can't imagine how.
Well, no comment. Festus fluids.
Festus fluids.
Yeah, there you go, folks. So that's a bit more on the Valkyrie. And that's going to get primed during the week. And then I can start doing some work on gunnage and panels.
And it's all disassemblable, isn't it? You can take the roof off and stuff. And...
yeah, it's too neat at the moment.
Yeah.
It
needs far more orchitaculons going on, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I've got some designs to go on the 3D printer to print, ready for Friday's show. So I'll prime this, and then I can design some panels and corrugatedness to go on, just to give it a bit more orcness. So that's that.
Wouldn't you do that before you prime it, though? Like gluing bits on?
Not really at the moment. I'll take my measurements, but yeah, I don't know. I just need to see what it's going to look like in the one colour.
I suppose you can always reprime it afterwards, can't you? I suppose.
Yeah, it's not a big issue. It's just missing a bit more primer.
Lynn says Raggy is back.
Yes.
Reggie Model says Foxx is such a princess.
Yeah.
Scaly Model says Foxx always goes for ribbed.
And I stuck some exhausts on the Bane Blade as well.
Oh, good lad.
So I'll take myself off full screen now, because I went full screen like a good boy.
You did. Good girl.
Exhausts.
Lynn Dipple says big pink straw. Panzer Koenig says the last time I saw something that ribbed, I was putting it up. No, we won't go there. Oi, less about your big pink straw. This is family friendly, says the Reggie Modeler. It was a great show with you both yesterday, Luke and Mike. Oh yeah, if you get a chance, don't forget to go and watch Scaly Model Dad interview with Luke on Black Rifle Model Works channel. That was on Saturday, if you haven't watched it already.
Well worth a watch.
Yeah. I'm surprised Raggy hasn't become sentient yet, says Max McGinn. Now, here's the thing, right? A lot of people confuse sentient and sapient. You know, like you always learn something on my streams. Today we're going to learn about the difference between sentient and sentience and sapient. Everybody says this alien is a sentient being. Sentient just means it's kind of self-aware. Doesn't actually mean it's intelligent. Sapient, rather, sentient means it knows it exists but doesn't necessarily have a sense of self. Sapient means it's like aware and knows it's an individual and can think and have conscious thoughts. So human beings are sapient, not sentient. So you'd say sapient. A lot of people don't realise that. You've learned a thing in your brains. There you go. So you don't say we are sentient being, because that means basically if you're sentient, it means you're not dead, you're alive. If you're sapient,
sleep like a baby tonight.
Yeah. If you're sapient, it means you're intelligent and self-aware. There you go. Most people use the word sentient. Anyway, moving on. That's your learning fact for the day.
In other news,
here we go.
Everyone,
I see what you did there.
I need everyone to wish my beautiful nippers a rest in peace.
What did you
do?
What did you do?
Yesterday, you can't see it properly because I would need to twiddle with the focus, but this little ding here...
Oh, you've got a chunkage missing.
What? I accidentally picked up the wrong nippers to cut for a paperclip.
No.
And before I realised.
I'm crossing my legs now in sympathy for the prospect of cutting a paperclip with expensive nippers.
I meant to pick these up, which are a different kettle of fish entirely, so it was an ouch moment.
You know what I would do?
They're not God-hand, are they?
Well, they're Display STA 3.0s.
Are they also hard to get hold of in the UK and therefore?
They're not. They're actually very easy to get hold of, but they're still 35 quid.
Oh. See, what I do is I've got, for anything like that, I don't have nippers. I have this 400-year-old set of pliers with a wire cut a bit in the middle.
Yeah.
So there's no way I mean, these weigh as much as a small child, and there's no way I can confuse these with nippers. I'll be like, oh, they're nippers. No. These also strip wires. I do all kinds of things with these. These are older than me.
Is that possible?
That's impossible.
It is possible.
I don't think pliers have been forged back then, have they?
No. You're getting me confused with Dad again, aren't you, Ted? Lynn Dipple says R.I.P. Nippers. Mac says, for some reason, Mac says proper Michael Parkinson. I don't get it. What, northern? Because Michael Parkinson is the most northernmost thing in the world.
Yeah.
Panzer Koenig has a serious question for Cy Reynolds. This won't end well.
Oh, one sec.
I said Cy Reynolds again, didn't I? God damn it.
Put the lid back on the super glue. Go for it.
Oh, I said Cy Reynolds again. What do you sculpt with?
Bosh.
Now, Colin would just say, sculpting tools, innit?
Sculpt a mould.
So I sculpt with...
I don't know if it means tools or stuff, but just...
First of all, good old-fashioned milliput.
Yeah.
I don't believe in green stuff, because if I fudge up the sculpting... Okay, go for it.
Yep.
That was light.
Whoa! Did you change your exposure or something? That's
no.
Wrong, isn't it? You've broken yourself.
It's got a light on.
Me.
It's got a light on above him, isn't you?
I did.
No, nothing changed.
His exposure suddenly went exploded.
One sec.
You pressed a button.
I did not press any buttons.
I bet you did.
I bet he's got it on auto settings on his Logitech software.
No, we haven't. We turned it all off.
Okay, mate. Come back in again. Remember that? I don't know.
It's all right. Carry on.
Maybe. One sec. We'll turn this lamp off. See if it helps a little bit.
Did you turn the lamp on?
No, I've just turned one off now.
Okay.
But yeah, it exploded. Anyway, milliput standard. I don't use green stuff because if I want to sand green stuff, it will go all fuzzy and end up looking like a little carpet.
What if you're making a little carpet?
Well, then it would be ideal. And then I use Royal Sovereign colour shapers or clay
Royal
shapers.
Sovereign colour shapers.
Yep.
Wait,
size
how do you shape
0.
a colour?
Good question. It's just what they're called.
What is the sound
you
of a
get
rhombus?
These from many stores. I bought them where Foxx buys his cutting mats, which is a shop called Jackson Art Supplies.
Oh, I didn't know they sold those.
They do.
I know that.
But they're basically silicon tipped, so they're flexible. So when you push it into like the groove of skin, it will somewhat conform. And then IPA. Do not use water with milliput. You will end up with a sludge on your miniature. Whereas IPA, whilst it dilutes the milliput, it's much easier to control.
Yeah. And
dip your tools in Vaseline.
No.
And it
sculpting. Stick to sculpting.
Yes, dip your tool into Vaseline, and it won't stick to the sides.
Stick your tool in Vaseline, and everybody will be happy. Whee.
Yeah.
Colin's gone. Thanks for coming, Col. Come back next week.
I was just thinking of the hangout because I get mocked for having a pot of Vaseline in my hobby zone drawer.
Yeah, but you don't sculpt.
Yeah, but it's the tissues that you have next to the Vaseline that really is the deal, Col.
Yeah, that's the deal breaker, isn't it?
And the Pornhub subscription card, it's just not right.
And no, Dad, I'm just using my gaming headset mic because I can't yet afford to buy a Yeti. But it's on the list.
On the list.
It's probably not a great mic, but it's what I have at the moment.
It's fine. It just sounds like we've got like a sports commentator going online. That's all right. I'll take your full.
Yeah.
He will nitpick at you for every audio and visual issue.
I will not.
He will.
I won't.
I've been there.
I've been so desperate to get aside doing. I nearly said it again. To get aside.
Yeah, you be very careful about your words and desperate.
Yes, I've been so desperate to get him filming and videoing anything that I'll quite happily accept anything he puts out and say it's brilliant, just to get him doing it.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think
my
we may have
my little pet project is get inside to do stuff.
We may have blockage in the old spooper glue.
Spooper glue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to like go out and come back in again, Si, or something, just to see if.
I'd see if I can work this out.
Well,
yeah.
Unless you just move nearer to the sun very instantly or something.
No, I haven't.
That's weird.
He's off. He's not going to leave you alone now. This is how it starts.
No, I'm just thinking of, so people can actually see what he's doing, because it's just kind of glowing.
It's his white balance, isn't it, or his exposure?
It looks like
exposure,
white balance.
Probably. No, it's not white balance. It's exposure.
It's not white balance.
No.
See, the thing is, we know that I can't.
Hang on, I've got to go and close my window because some chud next door is mowing the lawn. You carry on. I'll just go and close my window.
Yeah. Sorry, Si, go on, mate.
Can't fiddle with exposure on the webcam control software.
Yeah.
Or it just changed.
We'll zoom out a bit. That hasn't helped.
Yeah.
I'll go out and come back in.
Yeah, go out and come back in. Bring pie when you come back. Pie,
okay, bring in pie.
Pie. So anyway, how you been, Cole?
I've been all right, mate. Chilling out, as you know. Doing my thing, mate. Yeah.
Chilling out a bit too much this morning, it seems.
Yeah, I went to bed during the night. By 7 a.m. I still hadn't been asleep because I'm suffering a bit with me left collarbone, shoulder, and that at the moment, and the pain is really quite intense and keeping me awake. And I seem to be losing a bit of sensation in this hand, so I'm either going into a relapse or there's something going on nerve related to the arm. So I've let them know, and they're gonna let the specialist know that did my neck surgery.
Yeah.
Just so that I can go in and have a scan and a check.
Just they can check up on stuff.
Yeah, because I've got an artificial joint in my neck as well as a fusion, and it could well be that something may have moved or shifted or whatever. So
I mean, fingers crossed, man. It's just something like, I know there's no run of the mill, but hopefully it's just something not too serious.
Yeah, I mean, he did say that the other joints will take a lot of the work away. So there may be issues with other joints at some stage. So it could be that. So,
well, fingers crossed. It turns out to be nothing to worry about.
Yeah, but it's just preventing me from sleeping at the moment because the pain is so intense.
There we go. He's back now. He's not broken.
How's that?
That's better. That's
perfect.
It was back to normal.
Great.
What did you do?
Nothing.
Nothing. Brilliant.
Nothing.
It's a bit like me when my phone line went down. I phoned BT, and just purely by phoning the engineer, my phone line fixed itself. It's great.
Yeah.
Right now, let's have a look at chat and see what people are saying. Don't forget, folks, if you are in chat, because we are struggling to pay attention to chat, because obviously there's three of us taking the mickey out of each other, and it's a lot of hard work doing that. And we might also be doing some building, maybe a little bit. Don't forget, though, if you want to get our attention in chat, we do all... Well, I don't know if you've got the chat there, Si, but...
I've got the chat open, yeah.
Good lad. We've all got the chat in front of us, but me and Colin are both really old and we've got rubbish eyesight. Simon's like 3 years old and he's got the eyesight of a child, so we all hate him. But if you want to get our attention in chat, please do either... like Luke did there, he's put @Model Making Guru. That puts my name in an orange box, so I can see it. You can see it there on the screen. Or you can do a super chat by pressing the little dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat window. That puts your whole comment in a coloured box, and there's no way we can miss it. Also, it animates and stuff and makes a noise in my earpiece. Or if you want to, you can just put your comment in all caps, so we have a chance to see it. But more likely, a super chat or putting @Model Making Guru will allow us to see your comment. And on that note, Luke at Black Rifle says, would it be okay to post a link for a Just Giving in aid of Models for Heroes where you get the chance to win a Necromunda gang painted by some top figure painters? Yeah, because it's Models for Heroes, I'll say yes. I don't normally allow any charitable stuff because with Models for Heroes especially, I tend to do it through Graham. I tend to ask that Graham contacts me for any Models for Heroes stuff. That's why I don't do it in the Boom Hut, because I made a decision a while ago in the Boom Hut not to do charity stuff unless it's something we've approved in advance. Purely because in the past there's been charity stuff that's not been genuine.
Yeah.
So we've been very cautious about charity stuff. But as you've mentioned it, I kind of can't say no now, so go ahead and post it. But
it's Malcolm for M4H, isn't it?
Did I say Graham? Legit. I said Graham, didn't I? I mean Malcolm.
Yeah.
But normally what I would say is if you're more than welcome to put stuff for Models for Heroes up in the Boom Hut and in stuff, but get Malcolm to send me a message to let me know it's genuine. Because we do all support Models for Heroes, but normally I get Malcolm to send me a thing saying, hey, he's going to put a link in. It's like, yep, no problem. Because then at least I can say it's genuine to people in the Boom Hut. I can say it's genuine, and I've spoken to Malcolm, and it's you can trust it. But yes, you can put it in chat now because I can't say no now. You've asked anyway, so go for it. Where are we up to? Panzer says, thanks, Si. I have all those items in the stockpile. Wasn't aware of the IPA and Vaseline tip. Yes. Si, when you get a chance later on,
yes.
You may as well, if you get a minute, post the link up to that video that you sent to me, but post it in the Boom Hut as a post.
Yeah, I can do that.
Because I, for many, many years, have avoided Milliput because it's garbage. I've always thought, I can't do it. It sticks to my hands. It makes a mess. I hate sculpting it. But then Si sent me a link to a video that explains how to use IPA to make it soft and malleable. And I'm like, oh. So I've not tried it yet.
It's one of those super glue moments, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, and it's like, I've not tried it yet, but it's making me think I need to. So I've got myself some Milliput now, and I've got IPA.
So you know those things that we said you shouldn't do live.
Yeah. What have you
done?
done?
I'm now going to try and line up 2 pins on the other hand of this model.
Oh dear.
You want to go full screen so everybody can watch and mark? If necessary?
Yeah. Let's not put Si under any undue pressure.
I mean,
we'll full screen you.
Yeah. Hello, Mama Foxx.
Hello, Mum.
I'm not sure you may line both pins up there, dude.
No, I'm trying to. You'll see what I'm trying to do in a sec.
No pressure, Si.
Yeah, no pressure, but we've all stopped working. We're just watching you now like a hawk.
Yeah, I'm sitting here drinking my tea in anticipation. I'm in all
Well, you just painting the dots on. That doesn't seem to be like how it works. Or you just reinforce it. Oh, I see. I get it.
Right, and then I'm going to put it behind it so I have the correct angle of the hand.
Ah, so you get it all lined up. I like this.
In theory.
And then you just...
See,
perfect sense.
The bottom one's a bit splodged. This could go arse over tit.
However, having said that...
Yes, dear.
Being a plastic one, you could just do one pin.
Yeah, but it's holding up the banner.
And you want more strength.
Yeah, you don't want it to turn, do you?
There is a slight gap on this joint.
Okay.
Because I need to tilt the wrist slightly. So by having 2 pins, it gives me structure to sculpt onto.
Always take the extra. Thing.
Yeah.
Very quickly, Dad has put the link in for the Just Giving. Thanks, Dad. Because of course Luke can't put a link in chat because only mods can do links in chat, and I totally forgot that. So apologies, Luke.
Right, and I need the bottom pin to be longer.
I can personally vouch for this as a genuine thing, as an ambassador for the charity, says Luke. Yeah, I know that, Luke, but we had to draw a line at one point, so usually I'll get Malcolm to just let me know to confirm. So it's just we have to do it for the safety of the Boom Hut, and I have to apply it everywhere, otherwise there's no consistency. So, but don't worry about it. But if you need to post stuff up in the Boom Hut, like I say, you can do. Just get Malcolm to give me a shout first.
Right, then we can retest it again. Because I've just dug out the holes slightly.
Testing.
You've been digging out holes, have you then, Si?
Oh, yeah.
Is it holes with an H or an orc with an H? Holes with an orc.
Holes with orc.
I've still got you. Let me know when you've done, Si, so we can take your full screen. Because we're not actually, we're all just getting on with our builds, so.
We'll find out in a sec. I've just got to switch drill bits, and then we'll know.
Ooh, drill bit switching live on telly.
We'll know if it fits. If it fits.
He's got to switch his bit around, then he'll see if it fits properly.
Yeah. I'm just putting my new bit in the hole.
I don't have to pay for that on a Friday night.
Are you lubricating the bit or the hole?
Have you got the Vaseline on?
It's only plastic, Cole. But I've screwed it now, so I'm going in.
Going in, nurse the screens. No, yeah. I mean, when I'm doing my Death Guard, guys, I might want to pin the arms, but the thing with resin is, especially with them, it might be feasible for me to instead just glue the arms on and then pin them.
Yeah.
Because the problem with the Deathcore arms is there's no, like when you've got the plastic figures, the arms kind of sit in the hole.
Yeah.
And when you glue arms on, they have most of them have like a fixed position, so you know that the little bit the arm sits on is the same size as the flat bit on the arm.
Yeah.
But with Deathcore, it's like completely random. They're just...
Moment of truth.
Do it.
Have I fudged it?
Do it.
I haven't fudged it.
Huge success.
Oh, you legend.
to everyone's great.
Huge success. I'll take you off
Give
full screen.
the man a cigar.
Oh no, that's the wrong full screen. That's Colin full screen. Hey. I'll tell you what though, if I'd been doing that and I'd fudged it, if I was doing
We'd have
orcs,
mocked you.
well, yeah, there is that. The one thing I did a little bit when I was building my orc vehicles and stuff was easy line is so your friend.
Yeah.
Because when I did my Fallout Wasteland Warfare Super Mutant, the arms glued together just above the elbow.
Yeah.
Like Si's just on there, he's got like the lower arm and the upper arm, but he's obviously pinned this together. The arms on the Super Mutant glued together at the elbow, and you had this big gap.
Yeah.
Now I could have filled it in with filler, but I was like, nah, screw that. I didn't have any filler at the time. So what I did was, because it was a Super Mutant and the same would apply for orcs, I basically got some thick easy line, glued it to just above the joint, and then wrapped it round a few times to make it look like cabling or rope tied round the arm.
Yeah.
And it fit perfectly. It covered up the gap, and it looked like kind of orcish or super mutantish, just like wrappings on the arm.
Oh, mint.
So I reckon, so yeah, if you'd messed that up, you could just easily fix that with.
To be fair, if I'd have messed it up, I would have just got a new hand, because I've actually swapped the hand on the kit.
Oh, yeah.
The hand with the kit was holding a pistol, so the grip was different. Whereas this hand is gripping the shaft of an axe.
Oh yeah. I can hear Colin. I can sense Colin vibrating in the background.
I'm trying to get him.
I can hear his shoulders going up and down.
Yeah, you can see there is a gap that I knew would be there.
Yeah.
But the hand is straight, etc.
But that gap, could you you could feasibly cover that with, say, easy line or something, because it looked like a wrapping or a binding, wouldn't it?
Yes.
If you wanted to.
You could. I would argue that I wouldn't in this case, because that would mean he'd have a wrapping by his elbow. But you never know. But yes, if you weren't confident to sculpt it, there are things that could be done.
For people out there like me who are complete rubbish at sculpting anything and have no skills at all in practical nonsense.
Yes.
Because my skills are arty-farty nonsense, not practical sculpting nonsense. Unfortunately. Although I must get myself some silicone sculpting tools.
You should. I think they're about £3 or £4 each. Yes. They do come in different degrees of firmness.
Yes.
I have the grey ones. Yes.
I mean, the thing is, I've got 100 deathcore guys I need to actually build or fix or paint, and they've all got like either the ones I've made myself that have just got nothing fits properly because I'm an idiot, or they've got little gaps between the shoulder and the arm, and I'm going to need to fill them in somehow. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the grey ones, which are the softest ones, but they're still what I would call firm. You've got don't get the black ones. They're the firmest. They're basically.
You've got firm tool.
Yeah. They're too firm, and you'll end up creating
firmness,
like stark and solid lines where you don't want them when you're trying to sculpt something soft.
I'm always trying to sculpt something soft. It never always works.
But yeah. I'm sitting I nearly said I'm not going to rise to the occasion, but that would have just
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how this arm goes on the figure, but at the same time refusing to just look at the instructions which tell me how it goes on.
Yeah,
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, it's because we're blokes. We don't read instructions.
Instructions.
You'd like to know how stiff my tool is, Angus? Well, mighty inappropriate there, sir.
I've come to fix your washing machine. Let me get my enormous tool.
I'm showing you, even though I don't think you actually care. I think you're just trying to get us to giggle. But
yeah,
I'm impressed.
I can bend my tool.
Oh yeah, I can see. Yeah,
and it'll just ping back up to attention.
Colin is
so you have a self-leveling tool, then? That's what you're saying.
I do indeed have a self-leveling tool. Yeah.
Colin is most impressed by your enormous tool.
I am. May I say what a lovely tool you have in your hands there, Simon?
Thanks.
I should clarify, that's not my Arnie voice, that's my German porn film voice. It's just exactly the same voice, but hey.
It's exactly the same voice, isn't it? Yeah.
But then again, who doesn't think that what German porn? You ever watched 1970s German porn? It's pretty much like that.
I wasn't born in the 70s, dude, so no.
Doesn't mean you've not watched 1970s.
You can really go off some people, can't you?
Yeah. I'm here to fix your washing machine. Oh no, all my clothes are falling off.
Happens, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The other reason for double pinning these is...
OCD?
No. Obviously, with a banner, you want it to be in quite a set position.
Yep. You're just a little bit off the bottom of your screen there, dude.
So this hand
yes.
is going to have the banner attached, obviously, because I've got the components for the banner that I've made.
Let me put you full screen.
Yeah. I'm going to run a paperclip down the length of the banner, so I've drilled out plastic card and whatnot.
I tell you what, because I had to do this on one of the deathcore guys because he had the banner pole. Drilling a hole down a tube that's barely wider than the smallest hole you can drill is a terrifying thing, especially when you've already glued it to the thing you're gonna. Yeah,
this is why I've done it separately. I would not have done it if I'd already glued it. But the hand and the banner is going to be a sub-assembly.
Yeah.
So by double pinning it, I can just put it back on in exactly the correct position. Whereas with a single pin, it may rotate the other way.
Yeah, it might move
and
around.
once it's painted and I'm farting around with super glue, I don't want to get glue everywhere.
No, that's true.
So it's more like a margin of error thing.
Yeah, you're doing the ballsy thing of actually doing the professional, hardcore, super advanced paint job and then gluing stuff together, which to me just gives me the yips. I'd be nervous enough just painting a half-arsed paint job piece together. Never mind a properly, award-winning, 2 Golden Demon-winning paint job. You know what I mean?
There he goes.
Wait, what? Did I say
You
it again?
mentioned it. You
Did I
said
say
it again. Yeah, Si's microphone stopped working for a minute.
Did I do it again?
You did.
God damn it.
So, Lynn, it is a Royal Sovereign size 0 colour shaper. I will put anything that I've shown in this stream. I'll put a link in the Boom Hut where you can get it, which will hopefully be Fox's Amazon store.
Yay.
If I can find it on Amazon, I'll get him to put it in his store.
Yay.
But if I can't,
Thank you, dear.
then it will be a link to somewhere that I know you can get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, have you got Milliput in your store, Fox?
I will have it
if
about
not-
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Well, say 4 hours.
But yes,
I
it
might
is
have already,
somewhat nerve-wracking. You might have done. Pinning, pinning twice is sort of...
Yeah. Somebody gifted me a load of deathcore. And I say somebody, I do apologise. I can't remember exactly who it was right at this moment. But I've got sent a load of them. And they were kind of mix and match of different troops, but there was a couple of the command squads in there, but I don't think they're all completely full. I'm going to have to cobble together some dudes. But there was a couple of guys with the banner, walking along with the banner. The standard bearers. And of course in Deathcore, the standard bearers, you get the resin figure and you get the brass metal rod for the standard. And then the resin flag.
Yeah.
You're still on full screen, aren't you? Hang on.
I'll take him off for you.
You've got you've got a hand there. I think the hand has a hole in it, but then you've got the flag with the tube bit that's not drilled, and you have to drill a hole in the tube bit of the flag to get the brass rod to go into it. And these things are like millimeters wide, and I was like, I've got to drill a hole now. Oh
yeah.
And I managed to do it just about. It's not exactly quite straight, but it's near enough. But it's like,
yeah, it's the only thing about building a banner. I'm not gonna lie, it's taken me 4 or 5 attempts.
Yeah.
Because I've drilled through this rod entirely. This small rod here has been drilled through entirely, but then I decided that I would also pin the banner top to it, which is what this little dot is. And if anyone's ever wondering why I have Sharpie all over my stuff, when I fill something, I want to know it's smooth, so I'll fill it, and sand it back with 800 sandpaper.
Yep.
And then I'll colour it in with the Sharpie.
Yeah, so you get a contrast colour so that you can sand against. Yeah.
What you're basically doing there is a guide coat.
Yeah, that's it.
Essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, the straightness of the banner, even though it's orky, you'd want it to be relatively straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still need to do this one.
Bit like me when I did my super mutant and I straightened his chainsaw axe out, and someone said, it's not supposed to be straight. I'm like, because it was like bent like that, and I thought, I'll just heat bend it back because it's got bent when it was made. It's like, no, it's supposed to be have curved. I'm like, oh, arse. I thought I was doing the right thing. Yeah, I can't commend your level of modification anywhere near enough, Si, because I'm like crying. I break out into a cold sweat if you give me a pile of like Tempesta Scion arms, because I wouldn't know which arm goes with which forearm, and I'd be like, I want to just give up the will to live now. Yet you're just building stuff willy nilly, and it's like I can't praise that enough.
When I first saw this model on the box, I thought that is a great pose to be holding out a banner.
Yeah.
And I thought, if I put a power claw on that arm with the sword and put a head that looks like it's visibly shouting, as in he's shouting like "wah" or whatever, that'd be banging. I had to make a base for him though.
Okay.
So I've stuck two 32mm bases together.
Yeah.
Did a bit of sculpting on it so it was smooth.
Yeah.
Because the banner, I wanted the banner. I basically shaped some square plasticard rod into like a square spike.
Yeah.
And I want that digging into the ground.
So it's almost got like a level of support for the arm and the banner. Yeah.
Yeah, to a degree, but also just to look like he's
banged
up
it and
to
gone.
the top of a hill and he's gone.
Wayne,
this is my spot.
Very quickly, Wayne Ward has become a channel member. Thank you very much, Wayne. That's very, very kind of you. Unless, of course, that's an old thing from like 6 months ago, and Streamlabs is doing the weird thing of popping up things that happened 2 months ago, which it does.
Oh yeah, but even then, thank you for many months ago.
So if you have become a member just now, thank you very, very much, Wayne. If you've been a member for ages and that's just my streaming software being a tit, then thank you for being a member anyway. There's nothing in chat saying that, so I guess it is the software being weird. But thank you anyway to all my members. By the way, Si, just so you know, there's a rule in this stream. You won't know of it for two reasons. One, I've never told you, and two, I've literally just made it up.
Right.
But you have to say the word sword as sword for various reasons. Sword.
Okay. What are the reasons though?
The reasons.
But what reasons?
The various reasons.
Okay. Well, so you want me to say sword instead of sword?
Yes, it's actually a Skyrim reason for the one NPC in Skyrim that always says sword.
Oh, okay.
So
you're trying to get me to say something from a game that you very well know that I've never played.
No, it doesn't matter. It's just something I find really amusing, so I think from now on I will always say sword. Just because to see what people who aren't familiar with this show might be like, why is he saying sword?
Fair.
It's like, what was I watching the other day? I was watching something the other day, and it was some channel with like 1 billion subscribers. And he was saying something. He was saying something, but he was completely mispronouncing the most important word in the whole video. Imagine doing a video about cheese, but you actually say the word cheese wrong every single time. It was like that. I can't remember what it was about, but every single comment in the live chat, and it was an archive. Every single comment in the live chat, and every single comment on the video was kvetching about how he mispronounced it.
Yeah.
But he had like 1 billion views on it. And I thought, excellent. I shall now mispronounce the word sword all the time.
There's method to your madness.
Yeah. You've got to stick in people's mind.
Foxx is, how can I get more viewers? Like he doesn't get enough.
Yep. It's like, people don't like the Go Compare adverts because they annoy them, but they remember them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Method to my madness.
Oh, now I can just think about the Go Compare man.
Yeah.
But that's why they work.
Yeah, exactly. It's like those old adverts for that, and it's so long ago I've actually forgotten what the company it was, but those adverts for some loan company where the guy sits down on a chair and sits on his child's toy boat and says, "Oh yeah, I must sort out that loan. Oh, but I can't get to the bank." It was really annoying.
Yeah.
But you knew what the advert was for because it stuck in your mind.
Yeah.
Everybody hated that advert. I can't remember what it's for. It was like 20 years ago now. Oh yeah, I must sort out that loan. Oh, but I can't get to the bank. Slap. But you knew what it was about.
They should have redone that advert for 2020 because it would have actually been appropriate.
Yeah. Or like the one where there was like there's a company called Premium Search. I don't know if they're still around. Again, it's like an insurance thing, and there was they had like the most annoying people in the world going, Premium Search, what was it? Premium Search, phone soon, problem solved. Shut up. Yeah. But I remembered it was Premium Search.
It was like that annoying Safe Style Windows. Buy one, get one free.
Buy one, get one free. Safe Style UK. Oh yeah. Please like my channel, like and subscribe. Yeah, so sword. And I think whenever I think whenever you use the word sword in a sentence, you should use a Viking style accent.
Please do give us an example there, Foxx.
The closest I can do is my Arnie voice. I'm now painting my sword.
Right. Okay. Wait, now to clarify, that was the Arnie voice and not the generic German that you did a few minutes ago.
Exactly.
Well, I was going to do a generic Skyrim Guard voice, but I can't really think of how it goes apart from they're reforming the Dawn Guard, vampire hunters or something. But the person that says sword is a woman, so I can't obviously do her voice.
You also just turned into one of the viceroys from the films that we don't talk about.
The Trade Federation will not condone these actions.
See, you've just confirmed that you know about the prequels, and you're just telling us all that you really do love Jar Jar Binks.
Well, no, the problem you've got here that you're about to go down in a ball of flames is that I absolutely adore the Clone Wars animated series, so I'm more than familiar with the Viceroys and with.
Have you watched the new one yet?
New Gunray. Bad Batch.
Yep,
it's actually really good.
Okay, I will watch it when I get time.
Yes, it's interesting. They've upped the production values on the visuals and it looks gorgeous, but it is actually really good.
Sweet. And
it's only the first 3 episodes, so apparently there's about 16 episodes in this season. I think might even be 23. That'd be awesome. But yeah, it's good. It's good so far, and I'm enjoying it so far. So yeah.
I always loved the Clone Wars and the art style more to the point, so I'm glad they've kind of done something along those lines.
I mean, Bradley D. Baker is like. He's so wealthy off the back of doing all the voices.
Yes.
Because I watched an interview because he does the voice of all the clone troopers. And he said, when we finish season 7 of the Clone Wars, I'm like, you know what? I'm happy now. We've done it. We've ended really nicely. I'm done. Put fork in me. I'm done. And then they said, right, we're going to do a series about clone troopers. He went, count me in. Because at the end of the day, he's like 99% of the voices are him.
Yeah.
So, and I read a thing today actually saying, somebody put a comment up somewhere saying, why did they hire Bradley D. Baker to do the clone voices in Clone Wars, and not actually Tamura Morrison, who does Boba Fett? Why didn't they hire him to do the voice for all the clone troopers? Because he was in the movies, and it's like, well, 2 things. One, he would have cost a fortune. And Bradley D. Baker's probably a hell of a lot cheaper. Oh, flange. I've fallen out, haven't I? Hang on.
There
we go, I'm back. Right, when did I fall out? What was I in the middle of saying when I fell out? I forgot.
You would go from the voice actor of Boba Fett and why they didn't hire that person.
Well, yeah, so why didn't they hire Tamura? Is it Tamura Morrison, I think, did the voice for...
I couldn't tell you.
Or played Boba Fett, I should say. I think it's Tamura. I think it's Morrison is his son. Anyway, they said, well, first of all, Bradley D. Baker's probably 1 billion times cheaper because he's a voice actor who does the rounds in Hollywood. He's not a, actual movie star. But he says, but also, film actors are not usually the best placed people to do voice work because voice acting is almost a completely different thing to acting. And a lot of people have said, in all honesty, Bradley D. Baker manages to make all the clones who have the same voice actually sound like individuals.
Yeah.
He has this ability to make them all sound, whereas, Tamura Morrison might have just made them all sound like him. Whenever he's played clone troopers in the films, they've always just sounded like Boba Fett. So
yeah,
he said, so no disrespect to, the Boba Fett actor, but Bradley, he's probably got a better ability to get that range. But he said voice acting's a totally different thing, Just because somebody's good at acting in movies doesn't mean they can stay in a booth and do voiceover work for 10 hours a day.
No.
He said it's a whole different thing.
Skill set.
Yeah, you need different skill sets. You need to be able to talk like that for hours on end without breaking your throat. He said so. Probably cost and ability. It's a different thing.
And he really did succeed in giving them each personalities.
Oh yeah, I mean, even when you've got just like 5 troopers who are all just generic troopers, there's just something. Either the way they inflect or the way they. Personality, but it's weird. And one other person did say, of course, that that they're supposed to be like a clone of Boba Fett, but they've been born and brought up surrounded by Imperials, so that it makes sense that they don't have a pure Kiwi accent, a pure New Zealand accent, because they've not grown up in the same place that Boba Fett grew up in. So their accent is more a mixture of Boba Fett and Imperial.
Well, and it also makes sense that they would each have a personality.
Yeah.
Because they have been born and raised.
Yeah. But it's a good point. I mean, it probably was ultimately A, availability, B, cost, and C, voice acting's a completely different gig. Because if you think about it, Bradley D. Baker's been there for 7 years in Clone Wars, and he's done another series of the Bad Batch now. And he's probably voicing 3 or 4 characters per episode. Most voice actors couldn't do that. Never mind most actors. So,
yes, Lynn. The Bad Batch is on Disney Plus.
Yes, it is on Disney Plus. Just go to the Star Wars section where all the Star Wars stuff is. Yeah, there's only 3 episodes on there for the moment, but
if you're thinking about resubbing just to watch it, it might be worth waiting a month or 2 until there's enough to binge watch.
Yeah, or just wait. Yeah, just wait till the entire season's finished. Because I tell you what, it's such a nightmare having to watch an episode and wait a week. It's like, oh no, because I've been binging the Clone Wars. So
I'm pretty sure you guys don't watch it, but there is a reasonably popular BBC show that just had its last season recently called Line of Duty, and I purposefully waited until the week that they were broadcasting the finale to start watching the other 6 episodes.
I'm going to re-binge it, from season 1.
Yeah. It was just, I can't. With shows that purposefully put such a cliffhanger at the end of every episode, I can't just wait in a week. Nah.
Nah. With the ability, when I discovered the ability to binge watch things, because, before I had internet, or a computer that can watch anything more than 720p or any crappy videos. I never used to do that, but as soon as I figured out how to binge watch stuff, Amazon came in, and then I found out there were websites where they had every episode of every series that weren't particularly strictly legal, but you could stream them anyway, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know the ones you mean.
Yeah, there's a few of them. You take your risks, but hey. My viewing habits completely changed. I haven't actually watched something on a television for 10 years. 15
The only thing I watch on the TV is the MotoGP.
No, I don't even. I've never sat down. I can't remember the last time I sat down and actually watched a television program on a television.
No.
I've got a TV in this room with the Xbox plugged in. I've watched stuff on that through streaming apps and stuff.
Yeah.
But the last time I actually watched a broadcast television program, no idea. Can't remember.
Oh, I don't really watch things as they're broadcast.
No.
Or
just if it's not on iPlayer or Amazon, I don't watch it. Pretty much. Yeah, I have to binge watch things now. That's the weird
thing. Don't go
thing.
where, Panther.
What's that?
But yeah, go on. Panther dropped a message in chat, but
Sai, don't go there. Go where?
I'm intrigued. Maybe he thought I was going to spoil Line of Duty or something like that.
I'm not that person. Chaos says Bradley D. Baker has probably cost more than Tamura Morrison due to the amount of high-profile shows he works on, but as has been said, Baker is a voice actor and better suited. He might now, but I think when they first started out with the Clone Wars, I know Bradley D. Baker was a well-known voice actor at that point anyway, because he voices just about everything. He's like the Nolan North of voiceover, of TV voiceovers. But he probably was at that point still a lot cheaper than to book for 24 episodes, for several months than an actual movie actor. Although I don't know that much about Tamura Morrison, so I don't know, what kind of prices he would command. Has he done a lot of stuff? I don't know, apart from Boba Fett. I don't know.
I don't particularly know, if I'm honest.
Anyway, this is all the stuff.
I wouldn't have spoiled it, Panzer.
All right.
But by the same token, I'm not going to discuss the series because one, Foxx and Colin haven't watched it, and two, there may well still be people that haven't watched it because it's only broadcast like a couple of weeks ago.
Now the thing is, it depends what it is. What is it? Because I'm very restricted in what I watch and what I enjoy to watch. Line of Duty
is it follows a team of anti-corruption officers that work for the police force.
Oh yeah.
And they're basically tracking down corrupted officers, and they, throughout the seasons, they're unearthing
corruption.
An organised crime group which is essentially ran and led by corrupt officers.
Okay, well that probably wouldn't work for me because I found when I because I binge watched all of The Bill, all of it, every single episode ever.
Years.
It took me about 2 years. Of all the episodes, the ones that I didn't enjoy because they stressed me out were all the corrupt copper ones with I forgot all the names now. The copper who's completely bent.
Burnside.
No. Well, Burnside was one of them, but the other one, the younger one, the really cocky, nasty little. Not Nick. Was it Nick? No, not Nick. The one that ended up hoisted by his own petard. I think he got shot in the end. Really sleazy. What was his name?
Yeah,
like an Italian name.
The only one. Yeah.
Anyway, they'd stressed me out because it was the cat and mouse, and I got stressed out by it. Whereas when it was
I only remember one character from The Bill, and it was Reggie.
Well, I was going to say,
Hollis.
It was like when it was Reg Hollis and his little community caravan. I love those episodes. But when it was like Nick Santini, was it? No, Santini was it? His name was, I think. When it was him and his corruption and Burnside and his corruption, he was like, I just got stressed out. Give me Reg and his community caravan. There you go.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that kind of thing would be up for me. I like ensemble casts, but it's got to have a certain charm to it.
Yeah, it's Reg Hollis and Ben Coppers on steroids. It is really good.
Yeah.
I only ever watched season 1, but now because I totally didn't realise that they had done additional seasons. And
yeah, I mean, if it's totally dark and serious, then it probably wouldn't interest me that much. I like a little bit of levity, which is why I like things like Bones and Stargate, and I love an ensemble cast, but I want a little bit of lightheartedness to it. Whereas if it's all serious and stuff, if it's proper full-on drama, it's like not really.
Yeah, I don't think you'd get on with Line of Duty.
No.
It is very full-on drama.
Yeah, no, it's not really my thing. That I like a little bit of silliness.
Right, I'm just going to mute whilst I bring out the Hoover of happiness.
He's going to do an enormous big fart, is what he's going to do. A big fat Trump.
I think that's what he's saying.
No, I've got the Hoover of happiness.
I don't want to know how you made it.
Happiness.
I don't want to know how you
I've got one of those. I've got one of those.
I want to full screen this.
Yeah, it's a little bench Hoover.
He's got a little hoovering pod.
Hoover of happiness.
Oh, wow. What is this and why is it not in my Amazon store and how do I get one?
I'll give you a link. It is on Amazon. It's where I got it. So this will be in Fox's Amazon store soon, folks.
It needs a chibi face petted on it, and also if it doesn't make little squeaky noises when you use it, I'll be most upset.
It doesn't, but it needs a little chibi face with googly eyes.
Colin, you need to get one of these. You need to put a little.
Colin's got one.
Have you got one
in my hand? I've had one for ages, mate. Yeah, look.
If you take me off full screen, you can see Colin's.
Hang on. Oh yeah.
Yeah, me and Dave bought these a couple of years ago.
Oh, I didn't know you had one of them. Well, in that case, you need to get a little Arduino board in there so it can make Pikachu noises.
Yeah.
It needs to make Pikachu noises.
Yeah. Got to have a bench vac, mate.
Oh, I'll have to get one of them. How much are they?
About £6.
Oh,
yeah, it was cheap as chips, but
I shall be getting one of those. I think. Khajiit requires this for the desk. I'll have to get one of them.
If you used to do a lot of sanding and whatnot,
which absolutely, which I do, as you can see right now.
It's great, so you don't get up from your desk, look down, and just realise there's just a sheet of dust on you. It's great for that kind of stuff.
You don't have to wear special pants. Oh,
who says I'm wearing pants? No, I am.
Pants optional.
Well, they are.
Workbench streams, pants are always optional as long as you are 100% sure that the camera is not anywhere near the edge of your desk.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And no little accidents can be... what is that, Colin, you've got there?
What?
That little three-legged...
Oh, that's me stand for me Alexa. I moved it to get my bench vac out.
All right. Now remember, don't do any Alexa things because we don't want to upset Gemma if Gemma's watching.
No. The Alexa's off. You asked me what it was, so I told you.
Oh, cool. No, I was about to say.
I never do Alexa things. Yeah, that's all Colin. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Right, I've run out of coffee now, so I've got to drink water with my big pink straw. Big pink straw. I've not finished sanding yet. What am I doing? Refreshing water. Not as good as coffee, but it's what we've got. Don Beach. Don Beach was one of them. There was Don Beach, there was Nick Santini, and there was obviously Burnside. Yeah. See, Burnside, you kind of liked Burnside. Nick Santini, I could not stand Nick Santini. He was, the character, I mean. He was an arrogant, snarky, horrible, nasty little man. So I hated all his episodes because it was stressful watching him be chased and get caught, and it was stressful watching him be an arse to everybody. And Don Beach, you kind of had to like Don Beach. But then again, he got really bad at the end, so... Tosh Lyons is the main man, I remember. Yeah, Tosh Lyons. G'day, Tosh. It's a rumba for a gerbil, says Panzer Koenig.
I mean, it is, essentially, yeah.
You could put a gerbil on top of it, but it wouldn't go anywhere. In fact, Colin, if you're going to put an Arduino in it so it can make Pikachu noises, make sure you give it some AI so it can pootle about your desk automatically as well.
It's been modified now.
Modifications occurred. You're going to walk it up?
I could do.
It needs a crow's nest. I've got this desk hoover. It's 4.5. You'll be the first person
Colin,
with a 4.5 foot tall desk
hoover. Put a bit raggy on it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, I was going to say, now you've modified, that technically is now a build, which means you have to put Raggy on it.
Yeah, there's got to be a bit of Raggy wrapped around there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Oh, there does, but the problem is that means that you still have to touch Raggy whenever you use it.
I
now have to use the hoover with gloves. Is that what you're saying?
I think Colin has no problem touching Raggy on occasion.
Oh, you could just put like a little flag coming out of the back of it.
Yeah, a little sail.
Yeah, if you put a little Arduino in it to make it like remote control, you could just have a little flag coming off the back of it.
Oh, mate, I'd love that. It'd be the nuts, wouldn't it? But yeah,
it would. 6 months later, you've got a perfectly fully automated, AI-driven mobile desk vac.
I'll just go around the bench, mate, all day long. It'd be brilliant because I could just set a little sensor in each corner and just have it sitting there filming it and just go past me.
Just have it get a little sound file so it goes past going making little noises. Pika pika.
And you could call it like the Ragavac or something like that.
Yeah.
That could have several meanings.
It could. I need to pee, so I'm going to be right back.
Yeah, great big. Turn your microphone off. Turn your headphone microphone off.
Don't do
I am taking my headset off and putting it on the desk.
Don't do a
There
TK.
is absolutely no risk of doing a TK.
Apparently, Panzer Koenig has just become a channel member, or maybe became a channel member months ago, and that's just, again, my streaming software being weird. So thank you very much, Panzer Koenig, whether you've been a member for a while or not, and just become one. Thank you anyway. I don't know why my software does that. don't know why it does that. Very weird. Because the number of times I've said somebody's become a member and they said, yeah, I've been a member for months.
It could be a delay in slots, couldn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's like, I got one the other day saying Dad had become a member, and it's like, yeah, that was like 5 months ago. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird sometimes. It just triggers itself. I think it's more it gets stuff from YouTube.
Yeah.
Because it requires on YouTube, so it probably just gets duff data from YouTube.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of that at the moment with the tubes.
Oh, however, I can confirm that Black Rifle Model Works, Luke himself, has become a channel member because it says in the chat. Luke, thank you very much. That is very, very kind of you, my friend. You've already been very kind sending me all those Space Marine bikes for my Space Wolves. Space Wolves! Thank you very much for becoming a member. That's super, super kind of you. I really appreciate it.
He's a good man, is our Luke.
He's a good lad, isn't he? He's a good lad, our Luke.
Yeah. He is.
Thank you very much. It's not true what they say about you. You're a lovely lad. Yeah. So I can confirm that one because it is actually in the chat. You can see it there, that green line. And there's a little pop-up, you see?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
It's in the chat. I can see it. It's just on my left there.
Yeah.
Blep.
Blep. Panzer Koenig says, I've been a channel member for ages. I have a coloured thingy next to my name. You do. You do. I knew that, but I thought I'd better just... You never know. It's probably my software being weird. Well, it is my software being weird.
Have you mentioned that Black Rifle Model Works has become a member whilst I was
away?
Yeah, we read that one out, dude.
Now you've had 2 shout-outs. There you go.
Yay!
2 for the price of 1.
Haha, it is true, Model Making Guru says Luke. It is true. Yeah, I got all them bikes assembled up. They're just waiting to be painted now.
I may have reached a point where I've done all the sanding I can do right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
And I don't want to sculpt in stream.
So don't.
Pinning is one thing.
Well, I'll tell you what then. You're now the chat dolly. There you go.
Yeah.
No. Well, I can start something else.
Well, it's up to you. You can start something else, or I think what we could do is just occasionally, if somebody runs out of something to do, they just become by de facto the chat dolly. But it's up to you. If you want to start something else, you can, or you can just take it easy and chill out and see chat.
Well, I'll chill out for a little bit.
Yeah, chill out, mate.
Chill out. Have a martini.
If you hear snoring in the background, folks, that's Si chilling out a bit too much.
Yeah. So laid back is almost laid.
Right now, then.
So laid back is almost laid out.
I did wash my hands, Lynn. Rule number 1, especially at this current time.
Washing of the hands. Especially at this current time because he hasn't had a shower for like 6 weeks.
That's true.
Yeah,
it's not true at all.
That's true. Not true. It's too late. You said that's true first. Now it's confirmed. Right. I can't believe they've given me. You'll know this. You built Death Guard, haven't you, Si?
Yes.
On this like power mallet thing that's just a mallet because it's Pox Walker, so it's just a mallet. You've got a rib texture on the hand grip, and there's a mold line. And now I'm going to have to sit here and go through all the. And it's not like a Space Marines power hammer where you've got big fat panel lines. It's like got string wrapped round it. So I've got to go through.
How prominent is said mold line?
I will know it's there.
Is it too raised to extra thin it away?
It might only need a very gentle scrape and a bit of extra thin, but it's also such fine detail because it's like string wrapped around the handle that it might get rid of the actual detail. Because it's not like a leather wrapped grip. It's like rope thin.
Yeah. I know. I'm pretty sure I know the piece you mean.
Yeah. Also, there's a dirty great nub there. Dirty great nub.
Dirty great nub.
Nubularity. Look at the nubularity.
I need to remind myself which kit the Night Desecrator is, Luke. Let me look it up. Blep.
Night Desecrator. I had a cat that was so laid back he was still in the middle of last year. What have you done?
Luke's just started the Chaos Knight today.
Oh, nice.
It's a very cool kit.
Is that the actual Chaos Knight kit or a custom-made Chaos Knight?
Well, I'm presuming it's the Games Workshop kit. Are you going to convert it at all, Luke, or build and paint as is?
He's going to be a masochist and get the Chaos Knight and convert it to a non-Chaos Knight.
That would just be so much extra effort.
Exactly. Here's a question, because I can't remember now. I've got the Knight Renegade set. You know, you get 2 Imperial Knights. Is it just 2 Imperial Knights and 1 little bit of sprue of extras for the Chaos Knight, or is it a specific Chaos Knight and a specific? I can't remember. I think it's 2 Imperial Knights and an extra sprue, isn't it, or something?
I don't know, but I will look it up for you.
Yeah.
I don't think the Knight Desecrator was released when Renegade was released.
I don't think there were actually any specific Chaos Knight. I think it's just 2 Knights and a sprue of chaosy bits.
So it's quite possible it is just the old school, potentially slightly updated. I did a great burp when I returned to announce my arrival before I remembered to unmute my mic. I was deeply saddened.
That's rubbish. Well, if there's no one in the forest to hear the tree, then nothing happened. You don't get a ding for a burp we didn't hear.
Oh, so Luke's going to build his Chaos Knight and whack it onto a dio where it's been stalked by some Space Wolves.
Ooh. Space Pig. Yeah, Luke's building his Space Wolves army up, isn't he?
And meanwhile, whilst I'm waiting for chat to move, I'm going to find the links for clay shapers and a desk rack for your store.
Ooh, desk rack. Yeah, if you send me the links, but you, as a mod, you can post the links in chat as well. So.
Well, I'll send them to you so you can pop them into your store.
Yes.
And I'm not going to put them into chat
that's
yet.
That's a good idea.
So,
I won't make any money then, will I? No.
Yeah, if anyone buys them, then
tell you what I'll do then. Tell you what I'll do then.
Cash.
I shall put a link to the Boom Hut in chat, assuming the chat thing actually works. Yep, that should go in chat. I will. I'll let Simon send me the links, and then I shall post a thing in the Boom Hut later on with a link to all the goodies that we're going to talk about, so you can go and get them. Thank you for that, Si.
That's right. You might hear your phone going off a lot in a sec.
Why? Why are you sending me links on text message or something?
No. Well, I don't know if you've got messenger volume on your phone.
Oh no, I don't bother with Messenger on my phone. Only chumps do things on the phones.
Oh,
I do everything on my computer, my actual desktop computer, on my tablet.
Well, I won't send a reply then on my phone then.
No, text messaging is fine. No, I always amuses me when people sit there and they've got like, say, Messenger on the phone, or they watch YouTube on the phone, or they read Facebook, and it's like.
For that.
But yeah, and I know of some of my friends, they'll sit there next to a perfectly valid desktop PC with a 21-inch screen or bigger. And it's like, and yet you're sitting on your little phone doing Facebook in an app that's really rubbish and doesn't work. Why don't you just...
anything like that, is on the tablet, mate, because I'm a man of a certain age who squints when I'm trying to read something,
It's like, I can't see anything smaller than,
I'm
face.
Blind as a bat.
Mike Mountain says, who are you calling a chud princess? I mentioned no names. Boy. I mentioned no names.
So Panzer asks how the desk hoovers are at finding dropped parts. Well, they're pretty good at finding dropped parts, assuming that you're hoovering the correct area.
That seems
it's
like
surprising you say that. The amount of dropped photo etch and things that have pinged off, that when I've vacuumed, I've heard that distinct crackle, and I open it up and I just see that glint, and I'm like, yes. Located.
Well, there is the old trick, isn't there? If you drop a tiny piece of photo etch, is to put a lady's stocking or some similar hosiery over the end of the Hoover tube.
Just an old pop sock or something, and just hoover it up that way.
Pops. Yeah, you're showing your age there, dear.
Yeah, my nan used to wear them pop socks.
That's just
I don't even know what a pop sock is.
It's basically, if you imagine taking the entire 1980s decade and distilling it into one item of clothing, that other than shoulder pads, it's pop socks.
It's basically a sock that's made out of the same stuff as a pair of tights.
Okay.
But it's at sock height.
Okay.
I used to get old ladies in the 80s walking around with knee-length skirts wearing pop socks. It's like, great look.
Well, I think they still make those, but nowadays they are ankle height.
Yeah,
they're more like trainer socks.
But it's just something like that on the end of the overalls and give it a good old suck. That sounded wrong, didn't it? And yeah.
To clarify, you mean turn the Hoover on and let that suck? Yeah, you don't want to whack the Hoover tube in your mouth and
Hoover tube. Just say Hoover tube again.
Over tube.
Hoover tube.
Hoover tube.
You've got to do it in my accent, Si, because you're good at my accent.
Go on, give us a bit of Colin, Si.
Right, now listen.
No, go on. I've never heard it.
Let me just discuss for a moment, because when...
Let me lay a foundation.
Yeah, when...
He knows where he knows I watch Chris's show.
I've got news for you. There is no bathroom.
When Colin introduces a video, he doesn't talk like Colin. He puts on his phone voice.
That's called Foxx, mate.
Yeah. So it's like, hello, gang. Colin.
That's because he's doing voiceover in his close-up
workshop. Exactly. It was a brilliant impression. Anyway, Adeptus Latrina is in.
Hey, Adeptus.
Hello.
Timothy.
Phil asks if I have a plan for my YouTube channel. Yes, there will be videos. I am currently filming lots and planning lots. There will be tutorials. There will be watch as I paint something. There's lots of stuff planned.
There'll be naked painting tutorials.
Yep. The first videos will be kind of a series of videos that I'm going to call the Technique School, which will cover various techniques like glazing, layering, painting with light sources and appreciating those light sources.
I like the way you're explaining things. We're going to have a technique school where I explain techniques.
Yeah.
I know, clue was in the name there, Si.
No ambiguity.
Yeah. Right, listen, E2.
We are merciless, aren't we, Cole?
Yeah, you down there. Yeah, you.
Yeah, this.
You wait till you do your intro. I'm going to be going.
I give him some artificial sense of power.
Yeah, my name is Si, and I am doing my intro.
I already know my intro.
I'll put Si at the top, see what happens.
Oh, you got to do it, mate. I mean, my Fockney voice is like me mum's. She's the same.
I can probably pop a link into my channel. I will come in on my channel name. I'm not doing very good at chat, Dolly, and I'm like halfway down the chat.
Yeah, half of the job is reading the chat, but you're actually forgetting the bit which is reading it out.
Yeah, Luke is asking for a channel link for Si. I can have a look at Luke to see if I can find it.
I can find it if you can't. I've just got to grab it and remember how to do it on a phone.
Oh God, he's on a phone. You've got a computer right there in front of you.
Only chats do it on a phone, don't they, Foxx, dear?
You're literally streaming on a computer, which has a keyboard and everything.
But it's a mechanical keyboard, and I don't want to cause additional noise for the audience.
People like the sound of mechanical keyboards.
Foxx does. He keys his keyboard thing with his key things, normally called fingers.
Fingers.
Fingers of keyedness. Fingers of keyedness.
I'm sitting here gluing things together, totally not even in shot like a spoon.
Just can't get stuff.
Trust me, trying to get a link and paste it into chat on a phone is like, you may as well try and eat your own face. It's so unpleasurable.
I've already found it, dear. Calm yourself.
He's proper nagging you today, isn't he?
I'm not nagging. I'm not nagging.
I'm just going to start calling him Nan.
Yeah, that's my mum, that is, Nan of Catherine Tate. She's so like her, Si.
Oh, hang on a sec. I can't post it in chat because
here we
it's
go.
not a mod. Dad's already done it. Dad's already done it.
Wait, you're not a mod? You should be a mod.
Well, I'm not a mod on the channel.
No, you should be a mod on my channel.
So I'm a mod as Si Kevin Reynolds, but not as Squid Cameron.
Right. I've got you.
See, Dad, I am absolutely terrible as a chat dolly.
Let me fix that now because I can use my desktop PC, which is just here.
Yeah, just click the three dots, add moderator. It's that, because it's returned.
I'll just do a thing on my... Oh, I killed it. I may have broken things when I tried to do that.
He's pressing buttons now, guys. Like, the stream could end.
That didn't work, did it? Hang on. I've got to move it into my monitor so it doesn't pick it up in the thing.
Just click his Squighammer Miniatures with the three dots, mate, on your YouTube chat, and it'll just go add moderator.
I don't have YouTube open.
Yeah, yes. I tried it and then realised it's your channel.
So, Paul at Team Inept would like to point out something very accurate.
Oh God, he's in chat, dear Lord.
For someone that is always wrong, you have very strong opinions, Foxx.
Wait, how am I always wrong? What? I have an opinion about this.
No, Foxx will turn a situation where he's blatantly wrong around so that he convinces himself that he's blatantly right.
I know all things. I can't be wrong because I'm always right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Dad would like to point out that I am absolutely terrible as a chat dolly, which means that you should get your butt in here and do it for me, Dad.
That means that Si says, get you in here so we can mock you.
But
That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
I'm just sorting you out as a moderationer in the chatulatories.
Why, thank
It's going
you.
to go well this site. You know it is.
Chat is generally just concerned that you are being allowed access to buttons whilst live.
I'm different
at the moment. Foxx.
I'm different to some other people. That's really
No names mentioned.
Oh, we know you're different.
I think I can get everything in the box on that Sentinel. I've decided.
There you go,
That
Twitter.
is
You
entirely
should be a moderator now. You might have to come out of chat and go back in again or something.
We'll have a look.
But you'll have to sign in as obviously that and not you, if that's what you signed in as.
He's good, isn't he? You did all of that on your own without killing the scheme. Yeah, he's a mod. He's got a spanner.
My big pink straw makes water taste delicious. Oh yes, he's in now. You can tell he's in now. Good God.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, so Dad is claiming that he's not coming in at this time because he's got a stream to prepare for, which is true.
Oh, right. Of course. That stream that starts in 1 hour and 5 minutes.
He's got to get all the gas out of the system before the stream. That's the thing.
No, that's not possible, Si. Honestly, mate.
Wait, have you
That's
seen,
like trying to degas Apollo 5 with a funnel and a jug in 10 minutes. It's, spunnel, whatever one of them.
That's true.
Colin, what's spunnel? You have to figure
spunnel,
out.
I've got no idea, mate.
Your job now is to come up with a thing that a spunnel actually is.
It's a space funnel.
Space, I like that.
It works.
Yes,
I like that works.
space
That does.
funnel. It's a spunnel.
So,
you turn it
Scaly
upside
Models
down.
is abusing his moderator privileges by
Yes.
deleting messages. I'd like to point out that Panzer Koenig recently said that to mock Dad, all you have to do is mention the words blue rinse perm, which is accurate.
Absolutely.
I'm not getting involved in this. I'm just
chat dollying.
I'm just gluing stuff together.
Yeah, I mean, we don't mention Dad's perm, do we? Or his porn star moustache from the 70s, because that wouldn't be a nice thing to do.
Paul D. Tommaso is in.
Hey, Paul.
He says hello to everyone, and also would like to point out that you do like to think you're correct all of the time, Foxx. And he would
Yes.
like to point out the dice fiasco.
I don't like to think that I'm correct. I know I'm correct. Not that I think I'm correct. And even when I'm wrong, there's probably a very good reason why I'm right. If you look at the facts around them. And the dice thing just never happened. That wasn't a thing.
Lee Stevenson would like to point out that the real reason that Dad isn't in because he's gone away to sneak in work on the motorbike.
I would well believe that because, if the Sentinel's anything to go by.
He'll have finished that by now. He's got to do, he's got to do something on the bike, hasn't he?
Muse would like to point out that she's glad she's not building because there'd be parts all over the place because she keeps giggling.
Oh, musipers.
Musipers.
Oh, Paul. You had to lower the tone. Paul believes that the blue rinse perm really suits Dad, just not in his head.
Oh, I have to lower that tone. Family friendly, Paul.
Indeed.
Good man.
I don't
know. Ross Medlock would like to remind us all that Dad's favourite football team is, of course, Everton.
Yes.
Dad has a reply to that.
Not on a family show, he don't.
Paul, what's that? Paul says, remember the thing about him ranting about people wearing hats on stream? That's my considered response to that.
I do. I'm tempted to go get a hat now.
That wrong with wearing a hat on a stream.
No, nothing wrong wearing a hat on a stream. I used to hate people that wore hats on streams until I realised exactly how far my hairline had receded, in which case it became a perfectly valid way to express yourself whilst on the television.
I'm just instinctively known for always wearing hats, but when I first started doing live stream, the in-joke was that my bench light used to shine on my head, and it used to mess up the white balance. So I just started wearing my hat on the stream, and it's funny, when I don't wear it, people will say to me, "Where's your hat, mate? You're not festive without your hat."
It's because it's become the norm, Cole, and people don't like it when the norm is changed.
Yeah, you were the only person in the world that could actually do the manga noise without even using your mouth.
Yeah.
Can I just point out, I finished all the Poxwalkers
you good.
I finished
boy.
all.
So how
these.
how many have you built today, dude?
4.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah.
We're only 2 hours into the stream.
Yeah. How many would you have built in this last 2 hours? Do you think?
I don't know, because the mold lines on them are pretty horrendous. So probably one. Honest answer.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I built all the Poxwalkers. So there you go. I've built them. So I've got 24 over there. I've got 40 more to build in the. Oh God, I forgot. I didn't realise that. I don't know if anybody who didn't see it on Friday when me and Colin were doing the stream on Colin's channel, Festa 67's workshop. See what I did there?
Pimpage there, mate.
See what I did there?
Impressed.
I got the box out and I hadn't really had a good look at the box for the Death Guard Combat Patrol. So I looked at the back of the box and went, "Oh Christ! There's 40 Poxwalkers in this box. I've just spent 3 weeks building 24." Yeah, so that's them done anyway.
You'll be glad to know that Panzer has a copy of the Foxx rulebook, which clearly states that Rule 1 is Foxx is always correct.
Yep.
Rule 2 states, in the event of Foxx being wrong, Rule 1 applies.
Absolutely.
Does Rule 3 state that you're an arse?
Rule 3 states that everyone is equal, but Foxx is more equal than others.
Okay.
That's my favourite rule. And all your noms belong to us belong to me is Rule 4.
Muse loves your hat, Cole. So be careful if you might try and steal it at some point. It does suit you. It's part of Festa 67.
I have multiple pork pie hats. I've worn hats since I was a teenager. It's just something I've always done. I love hats. You know, at weddings, I always wear a big old fedora or a trilby. You know what I mean? But my God blimey days on my pork pies, I've got my steampunk one.
See, the thing is that when it comes to pork pie hats, you have to legally be from London to wear a pork pie hat. Really?
Yeah, you got to be a bit of a chav, ain't you?
No, not a chav. I mean, like you've got to be like you've got to be like. If somebody from Manchester couldn't get away with wearing a pork pie hat, or somebody from
you've got to be a bit dodgy.
Yeah, you've got to be a little bit cockney. You know what I mean?
What do you mean by a pork pie hat? Because I might know it's a different name.
Pork pie hat.
It's like a trilby with.
Okay.
Looks like the top of the pork pie side.
Yeah, I got it. It looks like a Melton Mulberry pork pie.
Yeah, it's not got the little dimples in the front, and it's not got a peat.
Well, mine's got dimples and creases because I'll pick it up.
Yeah, but I mean by design, it's just
by design, yeah. But yeah,
I would love to wear a pork pie hat, but I fear it wouldn't suit me at all.
That one there, believe it or not, is a bit tight on my head, and that's a size 60.
Every time I bought a hat, it's been not quite. I've measured my head, never works.
Yeah, I've got a big head.
Scale Modelling Chaos points out that if we combined Foxx, we'd have an army ready by 2050. Whilst that might be true, it would be one of the best painted armies you've ever seen, and it would be flawless.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I would enjoy doing it.
Absolutely.
See, I take great pleasure in building miniatures and making sure they're perfect. So people can mock me for being slow, but
yeah,
I don't know.
They can mock me.
It's like anything, Si, isn't it? You can't do a quick paint job now because it's what you're used to doing to reach that standard, isn't it? I suppose.
I can speed paint and I can paint to tabletop level, but the problem is my tabletop level is still above.
It's going to be way above mine because that's what you do.
What Simon's trying to say but his humbleness is getting in the way is basically you can say what you want about how fast I build. 2 golden demons, shut up.
Here it is.
No,
that's basically what he's trying to say without being so.
No, that's not strictly true. I know for me, when I finish a kit, I'm just going to have to buy another one. So the more time it takes me, the more money I'm saving
Yeah.
There's logic involved.
No, but what I was saying was basically nobody can criticise you however you do anything in this hobby, because at the end of the day you've won awards for it, so therefore you can't. I can't. None of us can turn around and say you're doing that. You're too slow. You're too. It's like no, you're the one that's won awards. You beat all of us.
Have you won awards then, Si?
I think he has. Pretty sure he said he had.
It's gone static again, lads.
It has, mate. It has. Yeah. You've never said anything about that, mate. Get that to yourself, dude.
I legitimately can't mention how it ever. I can't remember how it first came up, and I rue that day.
Yeah.
But hey ho.
I think it was because you said to me, "I've won 2 golden demons. I'll mould one and make a copy for you," and then you never did. You heartless swine.
Oh, it might have been that.
You were like, "I'll do a copy of one for you." Yeah.
What we need to do is, I'll bring one to Warhammer World, and we'll get Chris to use that app on his phone to 3D scan it.
What do they actually give you then? Do you get some kind of trophy or?
So it's a resin statue of the golden demon, essentially.
I suppose, yes. I should have realised that. Fucking plays in the name, innit?
You know, like when you buy painting stuff and it's got that sort of demon on the front with the nose ring and the big horns and that's the golden demon. Looks a bit like actor McPherson face, whose name I can't remember.
So Philly asks if my high standard affects the content I can watch on YouTube. No, mainly because my high standard is just what people always seem to forget is anyone can paint to the standard that I can.
Yeah.
It will just take them 3 months to do a single miniature. Just like it takes me 3 months to do a single miniature to that level.
Yeah.
All painting to that level involves is essentially 100 unnecessary steps, and taking highlights to extremes, such as 7 or 8 highlight layers. Whereas you could achieve something that looks decent in a single highlight, etc., etc. And it involves things like thinking about model composition and light sources and stuff like that. I could still paint an army relatively quickly if I wanted to. I enjoy painting models that I am proud of.
Yeah.
It's like I say. It's like I say the same thing. I mean, I paint at a vastly more potato level skill, ability than you do, because, you're a hardcore award-winning painter, dare I say, and I'm just a chud with a phone and a paintbrush. But I say the same thing. Anyone can paint like I can, and whether it's painting to my potato level or it's painting to your level, your full-on 16 weeks to paint a hand. It's not like you have any super secret dark magic techniques that I don't.
Oh,
It's just that you're probably doing a lot of the same things I'm doing. You're just doing them a lot more in depth, a lot more carefully, a lot more delicately. I'm just slapping paint on, whereas you're building up things in. So it's like you say, anybody can do what you do because it's just the same techniques. It's just how you do them and knowing what to use.
And it might be the selection of a technique as well.
Yeah.
Say I'm painting a cloak for a competition. Versus someone painting it for the tabletop, or even however far they want to go with it. Most people would paint a cloak by layering. Normally people start off at a darker color, pick like a mid-tone and then a highlight color, and just layer. Whereas for a competition, if I was painting a cloak, I would base coat in my highlight and then shade it down using glazes.
And you wouldn't necessarily use shades either. You'd actually paint the shading.
I would literally paint the shade in using a light source that I've already predetermined in my head. And I mean that's the only difference.
It's not like I'm trying not to sound like I'm saying you're not that good, but it's not like there's some amazing level of skill that you've got that others haven't. To try and make people realise that anyone can achieve what you've achieved. It's not that there's some skill level that you have to, some nirvana you have to reach. It's more just you have to know your craft a lot more than, say, I do. You have to know it inside out. You have to be able to apply knowledge and techniques far more in depth and scientifically. And
the one thing I will say is, firstly, people have got to understand that I won my awards nearly 10 years ago, and the standard of painting in this hobby is ridiculous now. But anyone can paint to a competition standard. However, understanding light and composition and color placement and how the values of colors interact, etc. That's what actually wins you the awards.
That's the secret sauce, isn't it? That's the
anyone could learn technique. Anyone. And I've seen your miniatures, Luke, and for someone that literally got into the hobby, I believe last year, correct me if I'm wrong, you're completely on par with where I would expect anyone to be. And trust me, I still have the first miniature I ever painted, and it looks like my dog vomited on it, and that was it. So yeah, and practice makes perfect. I know it's a very old saying, but it's so true. Just in most things in life.
It's. I mean, what I don't want to sound like I was trying to say that you're nothing special. I'm trying to make people realise that it's not some unobtainable mastery. It's knowing things beyond the basics and learning what those things are and why things work, how things work on a starship. To quote Kirk, there's nothing stopping anybody achieving what you do, but like you say, it's purely understanding there's a bit of work to get to that point. It's not you're not just going to start get some brushes and some models and paint and bang, there you go. It's going to take a while, and a lot of people get disheartened because they start off with very little knowledge and they paint with half a potato, and we all do it. We all start out that way. But it's important to realise that it will take time and it will take effort. But what it doesn't take is some super secret ninja skill that nobody can learn, or that very few people can learn, because everybody can learn it. It's just learning it is the trick.
I think so. I've wanted to put out a YouTube channel for a while, but
I've nagged you to put a YouTube channel out for a while.
Well, you have, but it's getting over the barrier of anxiety, but also the barrier of I paint models for me. I don't paint models for other people, basically. Just like none of us really do in this hobby. None of us paint a model just to go and slap on Facebook and soak up comments and praise.
No. Well, some do, but nobody that I know.
Well,
nobody that I know directly anyway.
Not any people in the community or in our circles.
No.
And to be fair, the only reason I ever entered Golden Demon the first time was because I had a store manager very similar to Foxx, in that he just badgered and badgered and badgered. And just one day I just said, sod it, just do it.
Put it in.
And it was Games Day. It was Games Day 2011, the first one. That was a cracking day. It was at the NEC. I entered my model when honestly I kind of forgot about it. And then about 5 hours later, my manager found me and was like, I've been looking for you for like an hour, because obviously it's at the NEC. There's thousands of people there. It's bloody huge. And he told me, and I was just like,
huh?
Oh shit. Don't excuse my French.
What do I do now?
It was insane, but it's and I appreciate that, Luke. So Luke said that I don't give myself enough credit. I'm an artist, pure and simple. But artists in general never see their work for what it is.
No.
an artist, like if I look at my competition miniatures now, I actually think there's so much more I could do to them.
Yeah.
But that is partly because of how far the hobby has progressed.
Yeah,
absolutely.
To riff off of things that Colin said in the interview on your channel, Luke, part of it's the products that we have available now.
Yes.
Even in the last 10 years, the amount of products that are available to us hobbyists is just insane. But yeah.
Which is why I'm looking forward to your stuff, Si, is because I'm new to all of this. I can see what that level is and what I can aspire to, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But also, you see me on the brunch when I show people's work every week. I look at it and I'm always saying, God, I'd love to be able to do that, or I'd love to know in depth how they've achieved that. Well, I'm going to be able to learn that from you guys. Yeah. So for me, it's a huge plus.
Absolutely. Well, you've always been a sponge, Cole. Your mission in the hobby is to consistently learn new techniques, and that's what you strive to do, and that's what you enjoy, isn't it? So
yes, it stimulates my brain, because learning new things takes my brain off of the things that I can't deal with, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not getting too much into the mental health, but there are things in life we struggle to deal with, whereas learning new techniques and things for this hobby replaces a negative with a positive, if that makes sense.
When your entire hobby is 100% a distraction from everyday life, then you're going to invest as much time and effort into it as you can. Absolutely.
Oh, mate, I love that about this hobby, because I'm not too up my own and Aris to sit here and go, I learn something new every week off this hobby, because I do.
Yeah.
I see work in my gallery on a Sunday and I'm like, wow, I like that. And I'll PM someone and go, how did you do that? Oh, I used this and this. I go, cheers for that, mate. I've learned something.
Well,
and they're like, really?
I'm
like, yeah.
Just to bounce off something that Simon was saying there was, when Si said about not pimping himself and, don't worry, this isn't going where you think it's going, about not bigging himself. I just want to kind of echo and add to the point that I've said this many, many times over the years, that a true artist, like Simon said, an artist will never be happy with what they've done. A true artist, a proper master of the art, an artisan, a craftsman, will never, ever, ever think that their work is either finished or better than anybody else's. A real artist, the sign of a real artist is that a real artist will always be humble about their work and say, I finished this thing, it's all right, I still need to do some work, it's not bad, but what do you think? Is it all right? And they'll never sit there and say, here is my masterpiece, it is complete, I have finished it. If an artist ever says to me, here's the thing I've done, it's awesome, I stop listening to them and I never look at their work again. Because a real artist will never, ever consider their work good or better than anyone else or finished or anything like that. And me and Si, well, maybe not Si, because nobody's better than Si, but me and Colin and everybody else in this community will always happily stand there and see someone painting better than us and go, wow. Like when I first started doing this, you all know Kenneth, Kenneth, our friend Kenneth from Australia. When we first started doing all this, he was new to the hobby, or a little bit, and he was learning from my videos, he was learning from Chris, he was learning from all of our videos, and he didn't necessarily know what end of a brush was what. But now, he paints better than all of us.
Oh, bloody hell, yeah.
Now, a sign of a proper artist is someone who will sit there and say, he paints better than all of us. Because he's gone far beyond anything I can teach him. I stop at basic tabletop a little bit plus. That's where I stop. I don't want to learn more than that because I'm happy doing what I'm doing. But I will happily sit there and say, like George as well, George and Kenneth, they started off...
George has come on massively, hasn't he?
Both of them, when they started, they'd be like eating paint from the pot. They didn't know what they were doing. But now, they paint better than both of us. And it makes me happy to see that, because I don't care that they're painting better than me.
No,
it's not.
Kenneth's Glutton Demon Foxx comes to mind, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not a bad artist would sit there and say, "Oh, well, they've become better than me, so I'll stop talking about them." No. Or they would sit there and say, "Well, I trained him, you know." Well, it's not relevant. So a good artist will always acknowledge talent where it's better than theirs, and a good artist will always think that everybody else is better than theirs anyway. So just to add to that, if any of you come across an artist of any kind, it's not even model, any kind of artist, and they big up their own work with a bit of pomposity, yes, it's a masterpiece. I spent 100 hours doing it. You can walk away and ignore them. They've not got any talent.
Yeah, they're not worth knowing.
No, because they may have the talent. Actually, they may have the talent, but they're complete arse.
Yeah, a bit of tit.
Yeah. Which I'll sit there and I know. I mean, I post things up saying, here's my finished build. I put stuff on Facebook. I kind of have to. This is a business.
Yeah, it's
model making guru is a business. It's what I do for a living, so I can't not big my stuff up. I don't want to, but I do. But I'll always be humble about it. I'll always be like, here's this thing. I finished it. It's all right, but it's not brilliant. But there you go. But if I was just doing this for myself, I wouldn't big my stuff up at all, because.
And that's what you've been saying to me this year, haven't it? Because it's changed, because we don't work, do we? We're housebound. So you suddenly become monetized.
Yep.
You have to treat the whole thing differently. And this is where your experience from when you became monetized has been invaluable to me, because you've imparted that onto us. You've got to start treating it as a business now, mate, because that's, your livelihood. You've got a bit of Patreon, you've got YouTube members. You now need to revamp your channel accordingly, and I didn't get it at first.
But now
I'm like, you got a point. That's why I'm desperately trying to learn and be comfortable with pimpage, because I need to do it. This is what I do. This is how I make my living.
If you're going to put yourself through the epic monkey poop fight of having to do your tax return every year because you're earning over the threshold, you may as well do everything you can to earn as much as possible. If you're going to have to go through that, you may as well make it worth it.
Absolutely,
that's the way to think of it. But it's any artist who doesn't have a certain degree of humbleness is not. They may be a talented artist, but they're not an artist, really. No. If they may have skills, they may have abilities, but that's what I will always take. The work of somebody who is unknown or has no presence in any kind of in the world, and happily big them up, because they're just people doing it for fun. Whereas somebody who's always shouting their skills from the rooftops and being pompous about it, I'll never give them coverage, because they're just an idiot. So that's how you know a true artist, a good artist. They're humble.
Humble with an H.
Humble with an H. And that's why I say I'm very, because people have. Somebody actually asked me once, to say, when we talked about Kenneth and George and stuff, because they are fantastically talented painters now. It's only taken a couple of years.
Yes.
So when any of us say, anyone can do what we do, I always tout those two. And somebody did actually ask me once, do you not feel like jealous now that they've learned from you and gone past you in skills and abilities? I'm like, no, I feel proud.
Yeah, bloody hell.
I'm not going to sit there and say I made them what they are. I had a little tiny part of that because I started them out, but that's what I do. All I care about is getting people started out. I expect everybody to go well beyond what I can teach them, because I don't want to achieve that myself. So
it's one of those, isn't it? I mean, I can remember Kenneth's Glutton Demon.
Yeah,
and I was blown away when I saw that.
Absolutely.
I mean, by the same token, though, people should say to themselves, "Oh, I'd really like to learn. I'm going to spend my next 5 models trying to learn and how to nail a specific technique." If you ever try and go out and say, "Oh, I want to be as good as Angel Heraldez or
Darren Lathan or somebody, or whatever."
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
No.
You need to. The only way you ever learn and improve is by putting a brush to plastic.
Yeah. It's like saying, I'm going to learn thoracic surgery by doing thoracic surgery. No, you don't. You do 9 years of medical school, then you do things on mice.
That's why I'm binge watching Duncan.
Yeah.
One, because I now know who he is.
Yep. Because,
but all seriousness, because I can learn from that, and then it's right. Okay, I understand that. I practice it, and then you go, okay, what do I need to learn now?
Exactly, and that's where your strength is, Cole. That because this hobby to you is your escape from the real world.
Yes,
you do take it. Although it's fun and silly, you also have a certain degree to which you take it seriously, and you do invest the time.
Absolutely. When anyone gives me advice and says, go away and watch this person and learn from them, I'll go and do that, because you've taken the time to let me know. The least I can do is follow through on it.
Well, it's not so much that, but it's more the fact that you're not. There's too many people that expect to just, start something and be a master of it in 6 weeks. It's like, no, you have to become a master at the basic stuff, the fact that you're sitting there saying, I'm going to learn the basics, I'm going to watch Duncan's videos, I'll learn the absolute the basics to get me started, the foundation, and then I can learn other stuff on top of that, and then you can find your own way. The fact that you embrace that straight away is your strength, that you're happy.
Absolutely, because I've got that huge Baneblade, as we know. Now,
have you got a huge Baneblade?
I have. I'm going to learn from Duncan, so I can start with me booster blaster, and learn on that before I then go to tackle the Baneblade, because I know it's a huge paint job, isn't it?
But that's your superpower, in that you're happy to start off. You're sitting there saying, my first few things, they might be painted to a basic level. That's fine. I'll know how to paint to a basic level by the end of those. Then on the next one, I can paint it more advanced. So most people, a lot of people wouldn't be happy starting off with that. They want to do everything all at once. And that's
no, I'll probably start off with me booster blaster, then I'll do this little Sentinel. Then it'll be the Valkyrie, and the Baneblade's going to be the background huge project, because as you know, it might have got a little out of hand.
Yeah. I mean, just before you do it, I'm just going to go for a great big wee, so I'm going to put myself on mute for a minute.
Yeah, no worries, mate. I'll do a bit of chat dollying for you. Yeah, sorry, Si, I spoke over you there, mate.
The one thing I would say, dude, is like, with the Baneblade, I think you can rely heavily on your pass techniques.
Yes.
Duncan's knowledge will particularly come in useful for all the little the grots and orcs that you've printed.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Duncan, he's really nailed painting tutorials for that particular genre.
Oh, yeah.
Have you found the channel that he's made after he left Games Workshop, by the way?
Yes. Foxx sent me the link for it. And said, watch that after you've watched what you're watching now.
Yeah.
It's to Duncan's, basically his new YouTube channel, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
So Lee Stevenson points out that he tries to include something different, like a new technique, etc., on every model.
Yes,
it's the best way, Lee. If anyone ever comes to me for advice, which does happen, I always say to them, try a new technique on every model.
Yeah.
And if for some reason that technique fails, try it again on the next one until you get it right.
Yeah. And that's what I love, because I'll say to someone, oh, blah, 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 or I'll get it sometimes when someone's watched one of my videos and they'll see me doing something and they'll go, have you tried this technique? And I'm like, no, I haven't, mate. Or, explain. And they'll go through something and then I'm like, I'll give that a go. And I'll sit there and I'll give it a cheers, mate. By the way, that really worked for that thing you said about the other week. I started using that now. And, why not? Why not embrace it? My way isn't the only way or the best way. There's always someone out there that will come up with an easier technique.
So you can watch Duncan on the Warhammer TV channel.
It's just called Warhammer now, though. It's not Warhammer TV anymore.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But you have to go back about 18 months to see Duncan. Failing that, I believe his channel is called the Duncan Rhodes Painting Academy.
Yeah.
Yes.
He set up a website, DuncanRhodesPaintingAcademy.com. It might just be DuncanRhodes.com. the subscription thing, but he puts stuff on YouTube for free.
Oh, so, yeah, you all sent me links, yeah.
Yeah. I suddenly realised when I went for a wee then, I'm stood there having a wee and I thought, if I fall out of the stream, people are going to be sat there for like 5 minutes with nothing to watch.
If you, Lee, if you're trying to particularly practice a certain technique and you have spare bases, or even spare plasticard, never underestimate the power of trying a technique on a base or a sheet of plasticard before actually going to a model. Or spoons.
Oh, yeah, spoons.
Yeah.
Anything sacrificial, really.
Yeah. Spend £1.55 and buy a pack of 50 spoons from online somewhere.
Oh, I've weathered spoons before.
Yeah.
Weather spoons.
Weather spoons. Hey! Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, dear Lord. Yeah, a spoon, like £1 for a packet of 100, and you've got 100 little weathering items. Over spoons!
Also, a challenge that I present to any modeler is try and paint a figure, whether it be a single Space Marine, a single Necron, a single Fire Warrior, whatever it is. Try and paint one without any washes.
Yeah.
And try and apply shading by actually painting it in with proper. Things like glazes and whatnot, and you'll actually learn a lot, even if you don't particularly like the techniques to use in your arsenal. For
sorry, welcome a wise joke. Sorry.
For future, I didn't get it. I'm too young. I'm sorry.
You're a child. You don't understand these things.
Yeah. As soon as you said that, I was like, Eric Morecambe.
But I'm surprised you guys haven't mentioned being underneath the arches yet. But
we were thinking of it. I can do it. Underneath the arch.
Cheers.
But yeah, like try painting one model in your life without washes, and try painting shadows with glazes and layering, and you'll learn a lot about light and just generally how it's done. And you'll appreciate washes much more, because they are an amazing tool, but not using them can teach you just as much.
Oh God, you learn a lot more. I mean, I've not had the nerve to do that yet, because I'm ultimately the laziest model maker in the world, and I find washes very convenient. I would say though, I don't know if you mentioned this while I was having a wee, but with mention of Warhammer TV, if anybody out there is looking to get, and this is what I said to Colin basically, if you're wanting to get into brush painting and painting miniatures or any kind of painting, then like we said before, you don't want to start watching the masterclass how to spend 16 weeks painting. I've just got a thumbprint on his armour. Arse. Thank God he's Death God. You don't want to watch like the masterclass how to spend 400 hours painting one Space Marine videos, because like I said before, that's like learning to do thoracic surgery when you've just left primary school. Warhammer TV, their YouTube channel, it's just Warhammer now. Just watching Duncan Rhodes do his like Imperial Knight, or Archaon the Everchosen, or the Orc Stomper thing that's not a Stomper, it's the other one. Just watching some of his like basic tutorials, how to paint an Imperial Guardsman, how to paint a Taurox Prime, things like that. You may and ah and say, oh, it's Games Workshop. No, it doesn't matter. It's a basic, simple technique, base, washes and layers. It's of all the videos I've ever seen, they are the forget the Games Workshop, they are the best basic introduction to how to put paint on a model. The foundation. Because once you master that base layer, base shade and layers, once you master that simple basic technique, you can then start to learn, like Simon says, how to do that without using any shades or washes, how to do glazing, how to do all these other techniques. But you have to start with the foundation. You have to learn how to put paint on the model. And those Warhammer TV, forget Nick and Peachy, theirs are all right, but they're not as watchable as Duncan. Duncan's just watchable and it makes it easier. Some of those early techniques,
isn't it? You can apply to any model from then on. Yeah,
once you learn those basic techniques, you're set then to go and learn the stuff. But I recommend watching the Duncan stuff purely because he's the most watchable. And if like, there's certain people who do YouTube videos, I'm not going to mention names, but certain people who the content's probably good, but I can't stand watching their content because of various things like their personality or the way they present things or whatever. It could be any reason. And if I'm not comfortable watching something, I can't learn from it. Duncan is the Bob Ross of miniature painting, so you can watch him. So go to the Warhammer channel, watch all the old Duncan stuff. They're in playlists. Go and watch them. If you're wanting to learn the basic foundational techniques, doesn't matter what paints you're using as long as they're acrylics, just learn it. Base, shade, layer, done, and highlights. It'll get you going. Learn that. I said this to Colin, learn that, copy that, get comfortable with it, then you can start learning all the advanced stuff and you can start figuring out what works for you. And you can find, Cole might come up with some brand new techniques that none of us have thought of before. That's how this happens. You stand on the shoulder of giants and you learn the new things. So I would strongly recommend to anyone wanting to get into it, go and watch this Warhammer TV stuff, the early stuff from Duncan. Just do it. You'll learn the foundation perfectly.
So, Phil, the best advice I can give you if you're going to try and paint a mini without shades is, if you're not familiar with the technique called glazing, watch a few videos on YouTube. If you search for fat glazing, FAT glazing, you'll find a video from an amazingly talented artist called Cujo Painting. It's a good one to start with, but essentially, glazes are just paint that's thinned down to a point that it's essentially translucent.
Yeah.
And if you start with your mid-tone, you can then change the value of that mid-tone by applying translucent paints. Almost, they act in the same manner as a filter does.
Yeah.
On, say, a piece of armor. You're just changing the value of the color, either up or down to make it into a shadow or a highlight. It will teach you a lot.
The beauty of the glazes as well, and this is something I've not really done much glazing, and I really must master it at some point, or at least try it. Because Si sent me a thing the day when I painted the searchlight on my Lehman Russ, and he sent me something. Have you tried thinking that you could have done it this way? I'm like, oh, brilliant! I'll try that. But the thing with the glaze when you build it up is, imagine you've got like a something white. Imagine you've got like Gutham's belly there, and you want his belly to go from blue at the bottom to white at the top. You could just try and paint blue and fade it out. It would suck. It would look terrible. If you do a glaze, what you do is you get your blue paint, and it's almost with no paint in it at all. It's mostly just water or glaze medium if you want to use it. And you do a coat that maybe starts there. This is the basic simple thing. It starts there, and you maybe fade it a bit there. And it's almost invisible. You can't see it. Then you do a second coat, but it starts a bit lower down. And you make sure the brush strokes end where you want the paint to be darkest, because that's where all the paint pigment goes. And again, it's not really visible, but where you've got 2 layers of paint, it's a little bit less transparent because you've got 2 layers of the thinned paint. Then you do the same again. You build it up layer on layer. The more layers of paint you have that are mostly transparent, the less transparent it gets. If that's right, isn't it? I've basically got the principle there. Yeah.
Yeah, essentially, the key with glazing is thin your paint enough.
I know, but
yeah, well, in a way, glazing is just creating a very gradual transition through the changing of the value of a color.
Yeah. It's taking advantage of the transparency of the glaze. That's the whole point.
Yeah. The best thing, the best tool you have as a human, assuming you're not an alien, of course.
I'm a real human boy.
To check the consistency of your glaze is actually your nail.
Yeah.
Just paint some on your nail, and if you can still see your nail bed through it, then that's a good sign.
Yeah.
And as you pointed out, the key thing to remember with the glaze is draw your brush and finish your brush stroke at the point at which you want your value to be darkest or lightest, because that's where the paint or the brush will deposit the most pigment.
Yeah.
Where you lift it.
That's one of them little golden tricks that I always forget it when I haven't mastered that yet at all. But that's the thing is when you're brush painting, you need to end if you're not just doing a base layer, you need to end the stroke where you want.
Oh, it's a bit like airbrushing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You always press for air away from the piece, and then once the air's flowing, you then pull back for your paint and come across and release. You know what I mean? It's the same thing, because you'll see people painting a piece and they're like all the time.
Yeah,
you know? It's just
it's
a new technique, isn't it?
But it's imagine if you go back to the whole point, the one advantage of the glazing technique is because you're basically manipulating and taking advantage of that transparency. So one layer of yellow paint over Gutham's belly wouldn't really look that much. Do a second coat, it's a bit less transparent. Do a third coat, it's a bit less transparent. The more layers of that paint you deposit, although the paint itself is almost virtually invisible, it gradually changes the value, what Simon's on about, the value of that part from white, more and more yellow. So like he said, like a filter. So the more and more layers you add, the more that value changes. So if you're building up a transition, you want to build up the layers towards wherever the transition ends. But that's the thing of glazes. That's why when Simon paints something and he says, I'll do like 50 layers, he's building up a colour slowly. If you just get normal paint and slap it on white, it'll suddenly become yellow. If I get Avalanche Sunset, put it on a wet palette and put it on here, it goes from white to yellow. That's it. You just change it from white to yellow. If I thin it down massively and make a glaze, I'm slowly changing the value of the colour from white to yellow. And I can, if I've got more control, I can stop when I think it's right.
Yeah.
If you start with the paint normal, you can't control. You know, you might, I've put too much paint on now, it's too dark. Or I've not put enough on, it's too light, and you add more layers and therefore you get more paint. With glazes, because you're putting almost nothing on there, you can build up many, many layers without changing the texture. You're not putting like an inch of paint on it. And you're slowly, I'm pointing over there, but it's here, the camera's there, Fox. You're slowly changing that value, like Simon says. So it's playing with the transparency, and that's why, like I said, Simon he'll say, I've done 50 layers to get this transition or whatever it is he's trying to work out, the shaded area. It's so you can get them soft blends, you can change the colour, but you've got maximum control over that value. As you go along, you can stop whenever you think you're happy with it. You've not gone too far, and then you can't go back. It's the beauty of it.
In essence. And
that's Simon's way of saying, in essence, as in, you're completely wrong, but I'll let you get on with it.
No, you're right. You are right.
Yeah, I'm simply I'm kind of dumbing it down a bit for
so, you know. As well, for anyone that's not familiar with the term value, it essentially means the lightness or darkness of a colour.
Yeah.
Which is why you start with the mid-tone. Let me see.
Because you can go from mid to dark or mid to light, but if you start with the light, you can't go any lighter. If you can't start with the dark, you can't go any darker.
So these two colours here, what are they?
We'll probably finish in about 5 minutes, by the way, so I'll put you on full screen.
Okay.
And I'll go through this
so
quickly,
this is a colour called Heavy Black Green, and this is a colour simply named Lime. If I wanted to glaze lime over black green, as an extreme example, it would be an absolute arsewomble. It would just take hundreds of layers. Whereas if I mix these two to produce a mid-tone that was roughly halfway in between the two, I could then glaze heavy black green to create my shadow, and I could then glaze lime. Granted, it would take more coats, but I could then glaze lime to create my highlight, and my meeting point would be my mid-tone of these two combined. And it just allows for flexibility. You can create shadow where you want, you can create highlight where you want, and wet blending is so it's an okay technique. I find it to be quite crude. I don't generally use it that much, but there are people that swear by it. There are people that prefer glazing, like myself. I don't like the pressure of wet blending, because if you fudge it up, then you fudged it up.
You've got a time limit, haven't you? Yes.
Yeah, the beauty of a glaze is, if I am glazing, for example, and I take it slightly too far. I'm just painting away, I put my model down for the night, come back to it tomorrow, and I think, actually, I've taken that a bit too far. You can always just glaze a lighter value over it. So, say I shaded too far. if I start to glaze back over that with my mid-tone, I can raise that shadow back towards my mid-tone, so it's very forgiving.
Yeah.
Whereas wet blending just isn't.
And because you're glazing with what is mostly 99% water and a tiny bit of pigment, you've not got a big fat inch thick layer of paint. You're not
exactly.
You're not caking paint on. With wet blending's like, it's like you get a game where, imagine a game, we all hate escort missions. Wet blending is like an escort mission with a timer on it.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
it's definitely. Like nobody likes timed missions and nobody likes escort missions, but a wet blending is like you've got 2 paints on your model, you've put it on thickly so you can't afford to do like multiple millions of coats because it'll just clog everything up. You've got 2 colours on your model, you've got to blend them together to get a smooth transition, but you've only got like 35 seconds to do it. Off you go, bang. What? Oh, I sneezed and now everything's fixed and I've got to repaint it, strip it down.
And furthermore, because it is so thin, each layer you have it's very incremental.
Yeah.
So it's hard to take it too far.
Yeah, when you said if I take it too far, it's not likely, but it can happen.
Yeah.
Because you get,
yeah. So I would advise anyone, like Muse's just said, she's had to strip models before because she wasn't pleased with her blend. The reason I advised Phil to look up fat glazing is because the technique that Cujo painting showcases is really, it's layering, but the paint is just slightly thinner.
Yeah.
And the thing with translucency is it affords you smoother layers. So you don't have to take a glaze all the way down to where it's like 90% water.
Yeah.
You could, in theory, have, I don't know, just spitballing 70% water and 30% paint. And you've just got a very thin layer. The one thing I will say to anyone that attempts glazing after listening to this little ramble is you probably won't nail it first time. Every single paint in the world has a different level of pigment within it, and thus it has a different point at which it will provide its translucency. So you just have to experiment with it, and don't forget, always test it on your nail, or on I can do something very quickly. Give me a nice bright colour.
Bright colour.
Lip.
One other thing to keep in mind, of course, is it depends on what end results you want to get. There's no right and wrong. You might find your own way of doing glazing that works for you, or your own, way to style to do it. But you might find your own style. So don't worry that yours doesn't look like somebody else's, because that's just your style. But use everything else as a guide. Nice brushes.
So these are going to be
You've got 5 minutes.
way too thin. This isn't a glaze. This is essentially a wash at this point.
You just put that in plaster ferrule, you heathen.
It's fine. Right. So this is essentially a wash, but the way to know if your glaze is too thin, well, not too thin, you can't really have a glaze that's too thin, but to check your glaze is thin enough is when I dab this to the paper, it should run away from the brush and spread outwards very quickly, just like that. Whereas if it was too thick, get more paint. If my paint was too thick, it wouldn't run away from the brush nearly as much, which it shouldn't do now. So it still ran away.
But it stops.
Granted, I still had a lot of liquid in my brush. But yeah, that's how a good way to know is if the paint just runs instantly from the brush when you dab it. That's always a good sign.
Awesome.
But yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, I think we're gonna have to leave it there, guys, for today, because we have to be mindful that Colin and Dad have got their stream at 6.
They surely do.
Colin's like, oh crap, I forgot about
that. No, not at all. No.
Oh no! My Nick, my Nick would not forget that. No. So we'll leave it there, I think. But I've enjoyed this last sort of 45 minutes with Simon.
It's been interesting stuff because it's imparting techniques that we're all desperate to learn, aren't we?
Yeah. Plus, we've also got to the point where we're actually teaching people stuff rather than just me waffling about food.
I'm just beginning my Warhammer journey, so I'm perfect for this sort of thing because I've got no preconceived opinion, have I? Yep. Because I've not done it. Yeah. So I'm a blank canvas for someone like Si because he can go, oh, I've got myself a Warhammer virgin. I can teach them the right way,
We barely even mentioned food.
I know, barely. I know. We never even asked the question. I don't know.
I've decided.
I believe I saw Dad in the chat ask it, but
he may, because we've missed so much chat. He may well have done. They may well have all answered it, but hey.
Yeah.
Anyway, we shall draw a line on it there. Like I say, because we need to let you go and get ready with Dad, don't we, Cole?
Yeah. That's
so
right.
I hope everybody's enjoying this new format. Thank you massively, Si, for coming on today.
My pleasure.
I think it's been rather awesome that you've been able to impart the information and not mock me too much. I'm happy with that. I'm happy it's the middle of the day, not too much swearing, because it means you really have to rein yourself in and I don't get the brunt of all your mockery. So I'm quite happy with that. Thank you very much.
Oh no, it's been the challenge though, Si, isn't it?
It just means he's stirring it up for whenever we get around to doing a modcast though. So it swings and roundabouts, mate.
Yeah, that's the next thing, isn't it? The modcasts.
But thank you everyone for watching. I hope going forward, obviously, Si is welcome to pop in whenever he wants to. There's a group of people. We've got Dad, Chris, Ted and Si who are able to pop into the stream whenever they want. There's an open invitation to them. So each week you might see some or all or none of them, but it'll always be me and Cole, assuming we're both available. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Colin, thank you very much for your co-hosting this as ever.
No, that's all right, mate. Glad to help, mate. And it's finally glad to let Si get a bit of airtime because I think people have found it informative. So why not?
Yeah. So hopefully we'll see Si again. Probably next. We'll see him every week now. We'll never get rid of him now. Oh God damn
it. Maybe not every week, but probably at least a couple of weeks a month.
Yeah. Well, you make me and Cole look professional, so you need to come on as much as
Absolutely.
Because we can just nod and say yes, because you can answer all the questions like a knowledgeable person, and we can bask in your.
Oh mate, it makes us sound suave, windswept, and interesting. Damn.
Yeah.
Fox, doesn't it?
It gives us a free ride, and we look like we know what the flip we're talking about.
Yeah. Like, yes, I know exactly what you mean here.
Yeah, exactly, of course, yes, and there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't talk, Colin. You didn't even know Boba Fett earlier when it slapped you in the face.
Picture of Boba Fett.
Well, I didn't know whether it was Mandalorian or Boba Fett, and I'm like, yeah, which one is it? Yeah.
What, the multicoloured Volkswagen one? That's Boba Fett.
Yeah, but I've only seen the 3 original
Benetton's
Star Wars films, and I don't really remember much about them, if I'm honest.
You need to stop digging that hole. You know that hole you're not in, Colin. You're digging yourself a second hole now, so you need to stop.
Still on episode 5, mate.
I'll move swiftly on so Colin doesn't dig a second hole for himself even deeper.
Indeed.
But yes, thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget, of course, if you want to help support this channel, a lot of you already do, and I do thank you for it. But if you want to help support this channel, you can do. You can go to patreon.com/modelmakingguru and become a patron, or you can click the join button underneath any one of my videos and become a channel member. Either way, you'll get access to stuff early, you'll get access to stuff advert free, some exclusive stuff, and more importantly, you'll be helping to support the channel. You'll be literally putting food on my table and paying my bills for me. So big thank you to our patrons and channel members. Don't forget, of course, the links for Goblin Gaming and E-Models in the description below the video. Go and check those out. Do, of course, if you haven't already, go and subscribe to Colin's channel, Festa67's Workshop, on the YouTubes. And, of course, Simon's new channel with no content at all, but you should subscribe anyway. It's Squig Hammer Miniatures.
Will be content soon, I promise you.
Yay. Awesome. But until next time, it just remains for me to thank my co-host Colin for coming along. And of course,
no worries, mate. Glad to help, buddy.
And of course, Simon for coming and being a guest this week. We'll see who comes along next week. But until next time, I shall say thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Go over to Scaly Models channel now because it's the in-between shows with Dad and Colin. He doesn't get a break on Sunday, do you, Cole? You get straight in.
Really
I'm all right, mate.
He's been for a wee, but, you know, that's a cup of tea.
Damn, you noticed me disappear.
You need to get a big, like, 3-litre flask of tea so you can have a constant beverage going at your desk.
What you don't appreciate.
Bottle made up of my rejuvenating drink, so I've been swigging from that.
He's actually been peeing for the last 3 hours. We just haven't realised.
You've just got a tube, haven't you? I don't even want to think about that.
Well, yeah, I wanted to soak me feet in a bowl of water, so I thought, well, if I just put them in the empty bowl, I can fill it as we stream.
I thought,
literally stream.
And I thought that was Simon's vaping sound, but never mind. We'll move on from that one.
No.
Ew!
I haven't touched my vape in 3 hours. I've been very good.
Very good.
Yeah, you must be having withdrawal symptoms, mate.
He's like this.
I am a little bit.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll leave it there because you need to go and get sorted, Col. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, no worries, folks.
I'll make sure my buttons are still working. Hang on.
Bye, guys.
I've not pressed it yet. I've got to make sure my buttons work yet. Hang on.
Okay, buttons. Buttons.
Ted does work, so take care, everyone. Take care. Go and watch Colin and Dad. See you soon. We'll see you tomorrow, Free Models Monday. Adios.
See you later, folks.
Slap it on.
Slap it.